What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to SpawnCast episode. Evan, is this one? What is this? 107?
Pretty sure it was 106.
We'll
Yeah,
go-
106.
We'll go with 106. 106. Welcome to episode 106. Have a couple people here, especially one that's very familiar with Star Wars. So I figured Rob would want to join us tonight. How's it going tonight, Rob?
Good, man. I was actually glad you were able to catch me on a random free moment because it's really hard to catch me last minute. But thanks for the invite. I'm glad to talk talk about Star Wars. It's been a good weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you've been enjoying it very much with the
Star
Wars celebrations. So, exciting stuff. Sean he's with us. He's just in the dark. It looks like.
You gotta watch the playoffs, man. It's a big time.
Do you not have a lamp in there?
There's a lamp in the corner, but it's not like super bright.
Okay. That's what we can kind of see you. You got a good low light then on your webcam.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
You're okay. Nate, with us. What's going on, Nate?
It's probably still eating that granola bar.
Probably still eating that granola bar.
I am still eating my granola bar.
Nate's with us. Jordan Fringe. How's it going, Jordan?
Hi, glad to be here.
Yes, and then Evan's with us.
Yep.
Very cool. Evan, we had some weird issues with the shirts. Can you let anyone know who got the shirts that are having issues with the
I've seen two things so far. I've had one person say it was canceled on them without them knowing about it, and then I've seen at least three people, I think so far, say that they got sent the non-special edition, even though they have clearly on their order that they ordered the special, which is weird because it's mixed in with all the actual ones that have been shipped out today. So I guess just check support@teespring.com. I'll try to type it in chat for you guys if anyone's in here and is going to have this problem, because they got to do something about it. I'm waiting to hear back from one of our contacts there, as well as I'm waiting to hear back from anyone that's had the problem to see how they resolve it.
Okay.
Mine said it's still on the way. It says like Monday to Thursday next week I'm getting it, which is crazy.
Yeah,
that's over a month from when I ordered it, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
As far as I can tell, they basically waited till the end of the full ordering cycle for that thing to end, and then they decided to kick it in. I don't think they were ready for just a random little startup shop that just happened to just suddenly have a ton of orders.
And next time I'll pay for better shipping.
Yeah, that's the thing. They had like different shipping options. And it's funny because when you made those things live, within like 3 days, I feel like I was seeing people posting pictures with their shirts.
Yep.
I was like, damn, mine's going to take like 4 weeks to get here, man. I should have paid that $5. So I'm still waiting too, Jordan. I'm right there with you, man.
Okay. So Evan's on it, but we're also looking into getting the shirts printed ourselves.
Yeah, if it comes down to that, definitely.
Yes. So there you go. I know we're going to too many games with shirts, right?
Ones for that, yeah, as well as possibly enamel pins. I'm talking to either Rax or someone else, because apparently Rax knows someone, and a couple other things maybe.
Cool. All right. Very good. That'll be fun. OJ is going to be joining us. OJ's going to join us a little later. He just got done a 12-hour birthday stream.
Birthday.
Yes. So happy birthday to OJ. He'll be joining us a little later on.
He's now 47.
A little intermission going. I Am Legend said it took there's a month and a half, and they just got it this week. Okay. Well, let us know if that's because Evan, you said there were signature editions that are supposed to go out, but they didn't ship them the right ones.
Okay.
That's
what I'm saying. And then among a couple other things, I don't know why.
Okay. Well, we can also try to figure it out where if we have to, we can print out the signature editions with the other person that we're looking at now, if we have to, and get those out too. So we'll make it work though. We'll make it work. So I was waiting for OJ to join in. We can kind of go around here, talk about what we've been playing this week. I know we played Hellblade. A lot of us did on the Switch. I played it. Sean, I know you played it. I know Nate played it. I don't know if Jordan played it.
No, I played it on the Xbox One a while ago.
Yes. Yeah, I played it when it first came out on the Xbox One. I liked it there. And then Rob, I don't know if you played that one either.
Nah, I've been slacking on that one.
Okay. No, that's fine. Sean, what were your thoughts on it?
Surprisingly good. It wasn't a game that I ever really followed on the other platforms. Like, I knew of its existence and whatnot. I know that it was originally on the PS4, then it was brought over to the Xbox One, and it's available on Games Pass. But I don't know. I just wanted to check out the Switch version because more people would care if I played the Switch version than if I played the Xbox One version. But I actually beat it in the same day that I got it. Probably took me about 6.5 hours, but it was good. The story is very good. The graphics are very, very impressive on the Switch. You don't really see many games in that sort of style, that like, you know, it kind of has that Last of Us, Shadow of the Tomb Raider sort of graphical third person adventure style that you don't see very often on the Switch. So I thought it looked really good. The combat was really fun. The story was good. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's a bit short, but I feel like I got my $30 worth.
It's like 6-7 hours. But did you play it with headphones? Did you try that?
I know I use my sound bar for
Okay.
most of it, but
Okay.
yeah.
It gets some cool effects if you have your headphones in, because it'll try to put voices like behind you while you're playing.
Like, yeah, 3D sound or whatever.
Yeah, it tells you in the beginning when you turn it on. It's like plug in some good headphones. Like if you have surround sound ones, it's really good. But like just standard headphones will do it too. But it actually works with the Switch because it's handheld, so you plug it into the headphone jack at the top and you go. It's pretty cool though. It's probably one of the better ports that I've seen in terms of visuals, like going from Xbox to Switch, and that was done.
How does it compare to the other consoles?
Actually, Nate, why don't you tell us? Do you actually have a video up about that?
I do have a video up about that. Compares it to the Xbox One version. I mean, there's clear compromises. There's missing texture. The contrast and lighting is different. But I mean, for what the game is and what the Switch hardware is, it's a good port effort. It is disappointing that, you know, some of those scenes are pre-rendered instead of being real time. So it does create a bit of a shock when it transitions to real time, because you can see the downgrade in the texture mod and like the graphic models.
I noticed that it does like this blur, where it'll kind of like do this weird blur effect, almost like this cross dissolve as we use in like editing, and then it'll turn into like it goes from like PS4 to like PS3 real quick.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
Even like in one of the intro scenes, if you compare it to the other versions, it's a close up of her face, and on the Switch version, they pan out further away so you don't see like all the detail of her facial animation. So they're kind of like, yeah, it's not going to look that good, so let's bring it back a bit so you don't get that close up.
Yeah, who ported that? Was that Q-Lock?
Yeah, it was Q-Lock.
They did a good job. I gotta give them credit because the frame rate's actually not bad either. It's like it's like 30, I think, and it's basically the same as the base Xbox One PS4. If you have the Xbox One X, that thing's like 60 straight across. But for running off of like 15 watts of power or something, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive for a Switch port.
It looks really good from what I've seen from the video, even though I only like saw a video of the previous versions. I haven't played this one. It looks better than what I think they did with Wolfenstein 2, which was definitely impressive in its own right. I don't want to take anything away from that. And you guys who have played it can tell me if that's wrong, but it seems like they did a really good job with a better looking game with this compared to something like Wolfenstein.
I think Wolfenstein was blurrier. Yeah, I would say
it's
so.
Really blurry. I mean, it looks good, but it's really blurry on the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a tough comparison just due to the engine. I mean, Unreal 4 is a very scalable engine, which is why you have Hellblade look as nice as it does on the Switch, whereas you had Wolfenstein on, was it id Tech 5? And that engine is, it doesn't really play well with the Switch.
Did you see the did you see the comparison shot somebody took of an overclocked Switch with Hellblade? Where they had like the standard frequency, and then they overclocked it to like the standard dock, but in handheld mode. And Hellblade actually looked pretty good. Like it was actually way sharper. I think it's because it had like a native 720 image on the handheld rather than like 480 something or something like that is what they have.
Yeah, Hellblade fluctuates. It can hit 720 at maximum in handheld, but it fluctuates between like 400p to 720. So it really depends on the scene.
Yeah, it's for what it is, it's pretty good. It's like almost 20 gigabytes though. I think it took a little while to download.
Was it like 13? I think.
Is it? I thought it was more than that. Is it 20? Is it 13? I have to double check. But I thought it was like 20. But because it's digital only, they weren't going to put it on a 16 gigabyte cartridge then, or even more if they had to for $30.
Yeah, and for a game that's that short too. I mean, there's no physical of the other versions. I don't think either on the Xbox or the PlayStation. So.
I don't know. I'll have to double check. I don't think there is. I remember I downloaded it on the Xbox. It's on Game Pass too. So if you have Game Pass, I'm pretty sure it's on there.
I think there's a physical version for the PS4.
There's a physical version for PS4. I think Xbox One. I think 505 Games published it.
Oh, there you go. I just remember I downloaded it and like it's on Game Pass. It's 18.2 gigabytes on Switch.
We're not on our Game Pass quota yet.
13 gigs on.
We got to say Game Pass a few more times to hit our quota.
Yeah. Hey, Game Pass is good, man.
Yeah, Game Pass is good. You get 3 months for $1.
Yeah.
If you are a lapsed subscriber right now.
It's $1, and they're putting Monster Hunter World on there.
I know. Did you see the titles coming out this month?
Sweet.
They're gonna have more. They're gonna announce more on Tuesday.
Dude,
Yeah,
this is a good month to be a Game Pass subscriber.
Resident Evil 5, Monster Hunter World. I mean,
Ooh.
come on, for $1 down, you get 3 months of quality content.
They have
Yeah,
some.
they're making a
backwards
big
compatible.
push for next gen, man. There's no doubt that they're doing that.
They're doing
Like,
some
you want this now.
some backwards compatible stuff on Tuesday as well. So keep an eye out for that. 'Cause maybe they'll drop some of those in the Game Pass as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, Game Pass is getting serious, man. It's getting serious. I mean, $1 for 3 months. I mean, that's like, might as well.
People are gonna think we're really sponsored at this point.
Dude, I mean, if they're selling it for $1 a month, I don't think that, or $1 for 3 months, they
mean,
can't
come
really,
on,
they can't pay us. They can't afford to pay
33
us.
cents a month. That's a steal.
It's a good deal though. But yeah, Hellblade's on there, so if you have Game Pass, you can just download it.
Yeah.
I also played SteamWorld Quest, but we can't talk about that still for a while.
Yeah, I can't even talk about another game I've been playing. So
What's the other game?
Can't talk about it.
I guess I can mention it. I just can't talk about it.
Yeah, what is it? What do you got?
Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen.
No.
Oh, you actually
you
got
got
that?
that?
You got to
Piece
get
of
that over to
shit.
you got to get that over to Evan.
No.
You got to hook.
He can enjoy it himself. It's a great game.
It is a great game.
It's a solid game, and hopefully it looks good on the Switch for you, which we can't talk about. But
Yeah, you got to get that. You got to get the contact info over to Evan so he can get on that. Evan played that on the PC and liked it.
it was awesome. It was
Evan liked that game a lot. That's cool though. That's cool. So we'll look forward to that. When is that out?
The 23rd.
Oh wow, yeah, it's not for 10 days. Okay, wow. So they're gonna have that drop, then Mortal Kombat, then SteamWorld Quest. Oh yeah,
Well, and Final Fantasy comes out
Next
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah, I gotta pick that up.
Same.
10 2. Yeah, that's gonna be like the 6th time I've bought 10. I bought that game a lot. I bought it on PS3, PS Vita, PS4, Steam. Yeah, now this and PS2. So man,
pretty soon the Epic Store if you
how
want.
do they? Yeah, really. How do they keep doing that, man? Jeez, Square. They get a lot of their Final Fantasies, and we just bought Final Fantasy 7 for like the 6th time recently. So, and then anything else before we move on to the VR stuff that Sean managed to put together?
Borderlands.
Oh yeah, wait, Borderlands Remaster.
Yeah, I'm still on.
Did you play? You played that last week, right? And you're still on it.
Nonstop been playing it. I'm working on a documentary about Borderlands 1, so I've been basically blasting through the game and all the DLCs and capturing footage, and just having a lot of fun with that. And I've been on a Borderlands kick. Like I played a little bit of the pre-sequel. I'll probably get back into 2 a little bit here. It's just so good. They did a decent job, fixing some of the problems. I can't stop playing it. Every time I have free time, it's like, okay, I gotta put another hour into Borderlands here.
Well, you need to tell your hookup at Gearbox to send me a physical copy because they're impossible to find.
On the 19th of so in 6 days, there's going to be another physical shipment that are easier to get at stores.
Okay, cool. Because I think that was a GameStop exclusive, right?
Yeah, and GameStop's going to restock them on the 19th. They said so. I got a confirmation that because I got a physical one myself, and it says it'll be in stock on the 19th and coming my way.
Okay, very good.
And it won't be like the $100-some one that's on Amazon.
Yeah, dude. People must have grabbed those up and they're flipping them, huh? Man.
Oh, absolutely. And then you can see all the some people like our friend Wood who went to Gearbox like on a whim, and all of a sudden he's just just taking copies and all that stuff. I'm like, not fair, man. Not fair. I want to be there. I want to be hanging out.
Yeah, I need to figure all that. I need to find out where I can get a physical copy from because I can get it digitally, but I want it like physically because apparently it's rare. Apparently it's rare. It was a GameStop exclusive, right? So it's not like gonna show up anywhere else.
No, except from resellers. But yeah, it'll, like I said, it should be all back in stock. I don't know how much stock, but at least back in stock on the 19th. I think you can go to GameStop.com and get it, like pre-order it still for the 19th.
Okay. Very good. So Sean, do you want to tell the people about how you're able to put the cardboard box together?
I did it. Look at me. Look at me go.
You put together a shoebox.
It was, you had to do 2 washers on the side. So, that was kind of taxing. A lot of folding. But yeah, not too bad.
So what are your thoughts on it, Sean?
It scratches the VR itch for me, just because I view VR as a novelty. It's something that I want to play for 10, 15 minutes and then go do something else. So the little bite-sized experiences, they're good, for what they are. I do wish that the screen itself, had a better resolution, because you could definitely see some blurriness and a lack of visual fidelity at some points. But I mean, for $40, like, I've gotten $40 worth of enjoyment out of it. It's, it's decent enough. And I'm curious to see if because one thing about Labo is, like, they kind of abandon it. Like, if you bought that rocket kit, stupid Clippers. If you bought that rocket kit, if you bought they're doing so good. I feel like they can win this game. If you bought the rocket kit, like, all you got was the rocket kit stuff. If you bought the variety kit, like, there wasn't any additional stuff for it. Whereas this is something I feel that they could potentially build upon, maybe do more with it, maybe add, more features to more games that they have. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, if there is a future for this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. The thing that was pretty funny was putting it together wasn't difficult or anything. But you were talking about that little button at the top that you were trying to figure out how all that works. So I'll have to see how that. I'm curious about that too, just to double check it, because I put it together real quick just to try it out. But when you're holding it up, it's definitely. I think they could use a few things with it. I think they do need a strap, like something to hold it up to your face with, because they ask you to basically hold it with one hand while using the other hand to, like, use the Joy-Con. But I think they need a few other things. They need a spacer for people with glasses, because, believe it or not, your glasses, as they start to kind of rest, they actually will run into the lenses.
Is it even possible at all to wear it with glasses?
Oh, no, it is. But you'll notice at times they will bang into, like, the lenses will hit your glasses at times as you use it. The PlayStation VR has, like, a spacer you can get that helps. And then also I noticed it's not easy or at all to adjust for like, your nose or anything like that, or any position. You basically have to hold it and try to get it just right. Whereas some of the other headsets have ways to adjust around your face, how it's shaped and everything.
I mean, it makes sense. I haven't, like, messed at all, obviously, with the Labo VR, but when you look at what the Labo VR is by comparison to, like, real VR helmets, it kind of makes sense that some of those, like, quality of life things are just probably not there, considering it's the structure built out of cardboard. So it's interesting. Indeed.
Yeah, that's gonna be the thing, is if they try to update it at all. It's pretty set in stone, because you have to build it out of cardboard. So I don't know if they could sell, like, different plastics for, like, the sizes, or I don't know if they can do all of that. But that's the one thing I noticed. It's not very adjustable. So if you're used to, like, the PlayStation VR, that's very adjustable with that kind of stuff, or even the Vive or Oculus, and this is not even close to that. So
I would think that they're probably really just testing the market with this anyway. So if they were going to ever offer some kind of small accessories, or like an accessory kit to do that stuff, it would probably be down the road, because they've seen, hey, this thing is a really big hit and it sold like crazy. And once we released the Mario and Zelda stuff, like, the numbers shot through the roof. So let's make it more accessible for more people, and maybe try to make it, I don't know if I want to use the word competitive with traditional VR, but something slightly more comparable. Which, again, I'm just guessing is hard to do because it's cardboard. But this has to be a litmus test for Nintendo. So that's guess.
What I would like to think too, is that it's a test, and that they could do something a bit more substantial, like in the future, maybe even with the next system, like their next Switch system, not even whatever the Pro revision or whatnot is, or the Mini, but like, what was 2019, like 3-4 years from now, when we start hearing rumblings of the next Switch, then you start hearing about, they're going to tackle VR as well a bit more seriously.
Well, and you brought up a good point about the strap, which I know a lot of people have probably talked about and thought of. And I'm still at odds trying to figure out what they're trying to do with Labo, which is the only thing in my brain I've used to convince myself to consider buying it, because I've looked up some of the info online, and, like, they're really proud about boasting that this thing doesn't require a strap. There's some sort of verbiage on their kind of breakdown of Labo VR that says you can do, XYZ all without the need of a strap, which is fine for what it's trying to do. But then, and I discussed this on my video too about the Zelda and Mario stuff, what they seem to be doing with Zelda, I mean, unless someone knows something that I don't, it seems to conflict with the idea of not needing a strap, because it seems like you're supposed to play Zelda like you normally would, just like with a controller in your hand, but you've got like, your Labo like right up on your face. But how could you do that if there isn't a strap?
That's the question.
It's very confusing.
So I've used it just normally with the, using the Joy-Con on each side and everything. And it does become cumbersome. Like, it becomes an issue. And Sean, you've mentioned they make you one-handed at times because you got to remove the Joy-Con. You don't really have to do it with Zelda, although there are times, of course, where you might use the gyro setting for like aiming with your bow and arrow and everything. That would be funny, by the way, if you're like looking around with it. But I feel like we need a stand or we need some kind of strap for Zelda. Mario, because that's just a few mini games, I don't think it's a big deal. But some people will play Zelda for hours and hours on end. You're not going to do that in the VR thing.
I think they know that. I don't think they expect anyone to actually play through all of Zelda in VR. I think it's more of a, oh, this is cool. 10 minutes later, you're putting it down, you're playing it normal.
Oh, just you wait for all those videos. I played all of Zelda Breath of the Wild in VR for so many hours straight, whatever.
Yeah.
And they have no video to prove it because you can't capture video. So they can say all they
expect
want.
A lot of liars.
Yeah, they're just going to hold up an empty box to their head and say, I'm playing Zelda.
What's interesting is I did notice that the Labo VR is lighter than the PlayStation VR headset, which is kind of funny because it's the entire system with the Joy-Con like on your face. But it's lighter. It is. I mean, the PlayStation VR is more advanced, obviously, which brings me to this question, Sean. Is it finally time for the PlayStation VR after experiencing the Labo VR?
Not quite at this price point.
No, not quite. 200 with Astrobot and Moss. Actually, I think it was 250.
See, 150. Now we're talking 250.
But it's a lot more advanced, and you get a strap.
250?
But see, the thing of it is I don't want to play like long sessions of it. Like,
with the strap. You don't have to hold your
hands. I don't want to.
Oh, you don't want to play long sessions in VR.
Yeah, I like little short bursts. That's because
you can still do that.
The novelty sort of wears off. I feel after a few minutes, you're kind of like,
that really depends on the game.
Yeah, and the person. I love being in VR. Like, I think VR is the coolest thing, and I get in debates with OJ and the others on his podcast about that stuff all the time. But I love it. And like, there's games that you want to play for a long time, like Borderlands 2 in VR, Super Hot, which is like a short burst
Super Hot
levels, but you can play that game for an hour and like, oh, an hour went by. That's crazy. But there are games like you can play like the job simulator games and spend like 10 minutes just messing around with all the stuff in that world you can, and then take it off.
You need Astrobot. And you need Wipeout VR, Wipeout HD.
I haven't had Wipeout yet.
You need Beat Saber.
Beat Saber's pretty good.
I would be scared though, because I tried to watch a VR YouTube video, and like 20 seconds in, I started getting like motion sickness.
That's because is that with the Switch? It's not really set up for that, to be honest. You need especially with that, you definitely need a higher frame rate than what the Switch can put out.
Okay.
Yeah, like the PlayStation VR puts out a higher frame rate and everything, high resolution. But the games are pretty good on now for PlayStation VR than they used to be. They used to be like serious tech demos, but now Astrobot's out and Beat Saber, which Beat Saber you need the wands though. That's the thing. I don't really like having to use those.
Oh, but it's fun. It feels like you're actually hitting. You're actually hitting.
Cool.
It's great. It's so much fun.
Everyone wants a lightsaber VR game. We get Beat Saber, which is lightsabers to music, and people are like, "I need the wand." Come on,
everyone who ever
those wands are so
Guitar
old
Hero.
though, man. Gosh, they're from the PS3.
Yeah. I mean, they do. I think we'll get the update next gen with the new headset and new controllers. But like Beat Saber, if you ever play Guitar Hero or Rock Band and enjoyed it somewhat, like this is like the perfect rhythm game because you really feel like you're in it, and it's really intense and fun, and it's actually challenging to play on expert. It's ridiculous.
Moss is pretty good too. Moss is good, but if you end up getting that, Sean, just get that. I have Gran Turismo as well, which is okay in VR. I think they did an update to add more. It used to just be one car you could race against, and it was like the dumbest car, would just crash into things. But it's actually interesting because when I first started it up, it was this weird feeling because it puts you into a car and legitimately everything around you, it's like you're in an actual car. It's the weirdest feeling. But I would get Wipeout. Wipeout will actually turn your stomach.
I don't want that.
Now
Why
I
would I
wanna get
want
it.
that?
You don't want to throw up all over your games in front of you? That
Jordan,
sounds
you
great.
really you've never tried Wipeout, Jordan?
Oh, I keep forgetting there's a VR. Is it
Dude, that's
physical?
one of the. It's like $20, I think, on the I think there might be a physical version.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth it though. It's so fun.
Bumper
Oh,
and VR is insane.
But
Well,
dude,
That
Probably
is like this whole friggin' psychedelic experience where you just be sitting there saying, "I'm going to play this for like 2 hours straight in VR."
There's
Bumper and VR is
there's an old
crazy.
video I actually did wipe out on the channel, and it's funny because when you actually like turn sideways, you actually turn sideways, and it's pretty cool because like you turn a whole ship sideways when you make the
I'm
turns.
into it.
It is really neat. I would check it out there, Jordan, if you haven't picked it up yet. That was
might
We
might
need
happen
Sean
right after the
to
podcast.
play the kitchen demo.
what?
I want Sean to play the kitchen demo.
Oh,
in
the
VR.
kitchen demo.
Is that just like cooking in a kitchen, like kitchen simulator kind of thing?
It's Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. What about just Resident Evil 7,
That.
the whole
Yeah,
game
yeah.
in VR?
Yeah, you can play the whole
Resident
game
Evil
in
7 in
VR. Sean.
VR is friggin' phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
It
It's
looks
actually
pretty
really
sweet. Yeah.
So there are great experiences if you're
Batman
willing to try
VR is
them out.
awesome.
Yeah.
good. Yeah, isn't that really?
Small little
just you-
detective
yeah,
game.
I
it's
mean,
just
it's
you
only like
flipping
2
around.
hours, but it's cool.
Yeah. It's
I think
it's a
that-
cool concept.
I
just feel
think.
like
Oh, go ahead, Rob.
I was gonna say like I'm probably one of the few people. I'm also kind of still pushing back on VR a little bit, and I might be like the last person on the earth who's never even tried VR, which I know is I know. I for what it's worth, I do very much want to. Like I'm super curious about what it's like. I'm a child of the '90s, man. I was watching Lawnmower Man when that movie came out. I'm like, oh my god, VR, that shit looks amazing. So like I want to try it, but I think everything we've seen with VR since it started coming out, like it's cool, and you get like certain kind of game experiences like a Wipeout or a Thumper or a Gran Turismo that like seem to do pretty well in a VR experience. And they're trying with games like Doom and Skyrim to take games that we already like and make them work in VR. And it's probably awesome. Like I don't question that it's probably not badass as it is. But I think that like for those of us that grew up in the 90s when like VR was this weird promise of the future, I think that we thought of being able to do something more than just sit in a chair with a controller and have a helmet on our heads. Like we wanted to do something where you're like in a simulation room, like the holodeck or like the danger room from X-Men, where you're able to move in the world and not just sit there with an analog stick, but wearing a thing on your head.
See, and that's why like we're in such the early stages of VR. Like it's not in the like we're technically in the fad phase where a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a fad, it's just a fad. But there's gonna be a point where there's like a whole setup, a whole rig setup you can get. I've seen like people create their own or have concepts for their own, and it's really, really cool. For like the Vive for PCs, you have the camera set around the room so it can track your full motion within the boundaries of a room. For playing like VR chat, you can actually walk around and it captures that stuff.
And there's also like
all I know is that the day that we can actually install a holodeck in our house, I'm taking out a loan, and that's happening.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Yeah, well,
renovating all the rooms.
There's also like I saw this probably like 10 or 15 years ago. I feel like it was a long time ago. There's like somebody designed a what's the word? Like a treadmill, kind of like a special treadmill.
Yeah,
but it was like a 360 treadmill that you.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
someone did a frictionless surface that's in a semi-domed shape under your feet, so no matter how fast you walk, you're just always dead center.
Exactly. That to me is the kind of, and that's a big ass, cumbersome, expensive thing to think about needing to have to play VR and enjoy it. But like, I feel like it needs to go kind of in that direction, right? To make it feel like you're actually standing in Skyrim.
Yeah,
be able
for
to, like,
full
walk around and
immersion.
stuff.
Yeah,
You need something like that, I feel.
Yeah,
like,
but then once we hit that, people are going to bitch that, oh, I actually have to walk. Oh, I actually have to move my arms.
true.
Oh, I actually have to jump. Oh, VR football, I actually got tackled. Why don't I just play the actual sport if I want to move? Oh,
You
people
can
can
actually
on their
get-
ass and do
there's
nothing.
an actual like chest vest plate or something that you can buy out there.
Talking about the impact one that hits
Yeah,
you. Oh,
it has
God.
that feedback. So like if you're getting shot at in VR, you can be like, oh, and you can actually feel like little hits in your chest. I think
there's
that's
also
not practical in terms of like why would you want to get hurt, but I think
Cheap,
that's
yeah.
really cool that we could do stuff like that. Like someone is coming up, they're trying to get to that next level of VR, and I think that is pretty cool.
They
The
had that
technology.
shit on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
was back then, and this is now.
this is the future. Well,
Yeah.
there was gloves too that had like these little pressure things. So like if you grabbed like a drink in VR, it would like give you little pressure feels to make it feel like you were holding, or like a gun or something.
Yeah, I
So,
love that. I
that's-
think that's so cool.
It's cool. It's very cool. One day.
And then Evan. Well, OJ, how's it going, man?
Hey, how's it
How you
going?
doing? Did you get some coffee in you?
Happy birthday, right?
Yeah.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
12-hour stream. Finished. Complete.
Done.
Done. I'm good. I just needed a little bit of time. I think I just peed. I peed for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pee.
Yeah, man. I drank like literally like 6 or 7 of these just so I can stay alive. But I'm alive. I'm alive today. So
How'd it go?
good.
Was the stream fun?
It was freaking incredible. It was incredible. My head started hurting after the 5th hour though. Like I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but I clutched it out. So no, it was a lot of fun though. Like everybody was really cool. There's a lot of people from each of you guys' channels stopping by and saying happy birthday.
Cool.
So yeah, like regulars that I see. So yeah.
Yeah, I stopped by at one point. You didn't see my comment, but that's fine.
I was delirious half the time during the stream. Just to
No,
let you
it's
know.
cool. No worries. No worries. Happy birthday. How's it feel to be 47?
45, mind you. Calm down. 45.
Oh, sorry. Close
Yeah,
enough.
45. Yeah, no, it was a good stream. It was good. It was a good birthday. So I had fun.
Did you play anything fun this week, OJ? Before we move on to some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I played a game called Gal Metal.
Ooh,
Have you guys heard of it?
No. What is it?
No? Gal
No.
Metal?
Nate may
This
have.
is a weird ass music rhythm game for the
Yeah, it's a music rhythm game from like I think it's Xseed and like Marvelous. Really weird music game where aliens come from outer space to try to stop the humans because the humans' music is like destroying their home planet or destroying them. So they take you and this boy, and you guys are this girl and this boy. They're abducted and they're thrown together into the same body. The girl's body is still there and she's conscious, but the boy is inside of the girl's body. And then you have your rock band that you use in order to fight off the aliens with your heavy metal music. And you have to press different buttons in order to fight the aliens off and save the world. That sounds fun, right?
Sounds
like an acid trip.
Let me also go over to Evan because Evan did you finish Dragon Ball Heroes, Evan?
No, that game's rough. It's actually really intricate. I've spent a lot of time this week trying to look around to see any information I could find on like how to better build decks in it and what to think about. And everyone I've been finding are basically all people who bought it the day it came out, and then they're just spouting basically nonsense or lies about it in terms of like how it works, how the metas work, what cards to pick and stuff, and then claiming it's the best option. And then I'm watching them just lose all the time in their videos. It's super annoying, but you know, I'm debating putting something out about it to try to.
Oh, Evan's about to drop the info on some people.
No. It's because it's an incredible game. It's an amazing game.
You like it?
It is
Oh,
good.
well,
It
okay,
is
good.
Yeah.
It's definitely for the price. If you know people who are going to play it with you, definitely worth it. But if you're just going to play by yourself, maybe wait till it's $40. But yeah,
Evan might have to. You guys will let him know in the chat if you want Evan to drop some knowledge on that game.
because it's in depth. Everything I've written down about it. It
is fairly complicated. I like I said, I've been playing it here and there, and it's not an easy game to get right away.
We got a duel. You got to see kind of the things I've been building. You might maybe understand a little bit the difference between just getting all the rare cards in a deck and hoping it works and actually building for a fight.
All right, very good. Yeah, I'd be curious to see a video from you about that, Evan, to see what you can teach people about that, because that game it feels complicated. I mean, it feels like if you had played Dragon Ball Heroes in Japan, you would know what to do in the game. But it sold pretty well in its first week too.
Yeah, there's a lot to do in it. Have you tried the arcade modes or anything? Have you done?
I tried some of the arcade. Yeah, I did some of the arcade modes where they have kind of like it's almost like story mode, but then they have like the what if story modes too, and
some of them are really long-winded. Some of them have a ton of different functions in them that you have to like beat certain missions in certain ways to even progress. It's just crazy.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Yeah, I'll look forward to that, Evan, if you end up dropping some knowledge on some people, because I went looking for deck building stuff just to see if I was doing something wrong. No one's talking about it. So
and the people who are just saying like get the rares, and that's not how you do it. It's just not.
Well, I do like talking about Dragon Ball Z, so if you want to drop that on the channel, that's fine. All right. Let me go through some of these Discord questions. Evan, you have some Discord questions? I'm going to go through some of these super chats if you want to get one ready to go before we jump into some of the topics.
One of the only, I guess, now we got two technically, VR questions, since that's what we were talking about. I think we had this last week. Do you think there's a possibility of an Oculus-style dedicated VR hardware for the Switch incoming?
No.
I think they'll stick with Labo, and then next generation they might do something like that. I think they're just playing around with the idea. And honestly, $40 is actually pretty cheap for what it is. So I think, I mean, they got Sean to buy into VR, so that's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. Sean still doesn't have a Pro controller.
Nope.
I don't have a Pro controller either.
I
Sean,
finally rectified
Crazy.
that in December with the Smash one.
Sean,
Right.
let's just absorb this for a second. Sean bought VR before he bought a Pro controller for a Switch.
It's $40. It's cheap.
The Pro controller's like
Half
what,
the
50?
price.
No.
No,
they're
Pro
like
controller is
70.
like $65.
Oh, that's
They're
ridiculous.
Pro
Never mind.
controller
Buy that
money.
cardboard all day.
No, go to Walmart. They have them for like $58.
No, there's Pro controllers for cheap. Like you can get like the Power 8 Pro controllers. There's all
Those
sorts of-
controllers are questionable sometimes.
You want first party. First
I
party
have
for
I
sure.
have a Power A. They it's the wired one though.
Yeah, I've been okay with my
Uh,
Power A, but my Switch is right there, so it doesn't really
Sean,
matter.
are you like watching a movie, bro? Like,
He's
what's
watching the
up?
game. He's watching the
Playoffs.
game.
He's watching
Oh,
Titanic.
Netflix
It's
and
Resident
chill?
Evil
I didn't know
Sean.
what was.
This game's not even worth watching. It's a disaster right now.
Okay, the Clippers are gonna come back, and there's not a lot of lighting in this house, and I'm not buying lamps. And the only reason there's lamps in this house is
Why
because
buy a lamp?
with
Sean, do you see this controller right here?
yes.
You see this Astro C40? I
Yeah.
bought this the other day. It is worth 4 Pro controllers on the Switch.
How
That's
much-
like-
Go
well,
buy it. Go buy a Pro controller.
That's like 20 lamps he can use to light his room.
yeah, that's 20 lamps.
This man.
He goes to
this man,
Bed
Sean-
Bath and Beyond. He can walk out with fucking
man-
20 lamps for $240, and people be like,
Still
"Wow,
doesn't
look
have
at
a
this
Pro
guy."
controller. Sean, go to Walmart and get a Pro controller.
I bet Sean had to complain that he had to buy a Switch. He went out and bought Switch games, but didn't have the Switch. He's like, I gotta buy the Switch too.
No,
What
I was
the-
fine. I was fine with that. I was fine.
Yeah.
You okay with that, bro?
Yeah. like there's varying degrees of price of what, like, all right, it's like food, you know, like I'm not going out, like, you know, there was a family gathering a couple weekends ago, and they wanted me to go to it, and it was like a catered event, and it was like $60 a person. I'm like, I'm not fucking spending $60 on food, or what is wrong with you?
What
Like,
you do is you go to the drugstore and buy the chicken wings you love, and then show
Yeah.
up with that.
He goes to Walgreens and buys $60 worth of frozen chicken wings for microwave.
This man-
Walgreens has store brand pizza rolls that are like it's $3 for 40 of them. You can't beat that.
Are they
This
name
man's
brand or
like-
just is their store brand? They're not even
It's
like.
it's their store brand.
Oh,
It's called Nice.
But
Do you
Sean,
at least make the pizza rolls in the oven? You don't
No.
microwave them.
no one
right?
uses the oven for pizza rolls. You,
You
want
leave
those quick.
you leave them out on the
Microwave
table
them,
for
man.
like a day, and then they just thaw, and you eat them. Come on, like,
You can't microwave a
Room
pizza
temperature
roll.
pizza.
Yes, you
rolls,
can. They,
No, they're gooey.
You can
that's
do
the
it.
point. They're junk food.
No, you
Yeah.
gotta put those. You gotta get the nice crisp.
Not on a pizza roll. You
Hell
It's,
yeah,
it's
on
not
a
like
roll.
that's not gonna improve the quality of a $3 pizza roll. It's still gonna
Yeah.
be bad no matter
I
what
mean,
you do.
to be
bad.
fair, a oven baked pizza roll is definitely better than a microwave. But I don't
Anything
have-
would be. Yeah.
I don't have that kind of time, man.
Yeah, no one has oven time.
Come,
I'm with you.
it takes 10 minutes to bake.
Yeah, but the
It's
oven
3
takes
minutes
10
to
minutes to
microwave.
turn on.
So many minutes. It's too
we
many.
were talking about Pro controllers. What happened here?
We
Now
somehow
hot-
got the pizza
now
rolls because
My
they're
bad.
delicious.
We made a big
I
jump.
said something.
Sean, if you buy a Pro controller though and you take care of it, you're going to use it for the rest of the generation.
But how long is that? We don't even know.
Let's say it's
Even if
1
it's
year. That
3
means you get 12
years.
months out of it.
Someone said they're on sale at Best Buy for $60, and I don't think I've been to the Best Buy since I've moved. It's down the road from me, so maybe.
I mean, don't you have the WWE Network, Sean? That's like $10 a month.
Well,
Yeah,
how
that
else am I-
service sucks.
No. They just put some old episodes of WWF Superstars from like '92. I've been watching all those, and then you have the pay-per-views. You got to watch the pay-per-views.
Isn't that
Yeah, now that Brock Lesnar is finally gone, they might actually be good.
That's $120 a year though, right?
I'm saying, but it's only $10 a month. That's how I look at things. Like,
See, Sean needs a lease. Sean needs to be able to go to Best Buy and say, I will give you $10 for 6 months for this Pro controller.
I would have no problem with that.
It's called a credit. I mean, a credit card.
Yeah, get that Best Buy credit card.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I do have Best Buy credit card, but
Just come back next SpawnCast and have a Pro controller ready to go. Just be like, I got it.
the Pro
I'm in.
controller is only $57 right now at Best Buy.
I think it's that price on Amazon. You don't have to leave your house.
It's worth it.
Yeah, but I like
you
to
can
go
remain in
shop.
the shadows.
Okay.
Then
Yeah, there you go. See, go pick it up Best Buy. Pick up a game or something while you're there. You're good to go.
I haven't bought a Pro controller either, so
Yeah, well,
I'm not
crazy.
giving $60 for a fucking controller.
That's crazy.
I thought
Thank
$35 for a
here's the
freaking Wave Bird back in
here's-
2002 was a lot.
Hey, here's the thing: you could tell us you have one, and we would never know.
That's true.
You're crazy. Pro controller is totally worth it, man. I use it
I
all the
know.
time.
It's like I can't use the grip thing. The Dogma. I can't do that. I can't
You
do
guys
that.
got baby hands? Like Joy-Cons, like it's
I
some of the
do have
buttons are too
small hands. My
Some of the
hands are
buttons are too
small,
small.
I know, but they're not yours. They are my own.
I know. I'm just saying, like, if you the Pro controller, like, you can't be using, or like the Joy-Cons are too small for some of the stuff. It's like it's just better to use a Pro controller, like easier to play.
Not yours, they are mine.
I believe in Sean. I think he'll get a Pro controller this week.
Mhm.
I look forward to seeing his impressions about the Pro controller next week. That could be a video, Sean. You can make a video about your impressions on the Pro controller. There you go.
I
Two
finally
years
bought a Pro
later.
controller.
I finally bought a Pro controller.
That's actually not a bad idea.
There you go.
You could just pretend like it's an old video and be like, guys, I actually found lost footage of my first time reviewing a Pro controller. Let's roll it. And you try to dress like you did and look like you did 2 years ago, green screen your old set behind you.
It's not a bad idea.
It'd be pretty funny.
All right. We're trying to figure out loopholes to make Sean go buy the best controller on the system. It's not like I'm asking you to buy an Elite controller for your Xbox.
No, this is the best controller.
Although you should. The Elite controller for that. Sean doesn't have one of those.
Now he's not even here, so we're telling
Alright,
somebody.
Yeah, he wants to go buy a controller.
Yeah,
Good, because
Like,
because
I'm sick of
Good.
taking all that shit from you guys. I'm
if he told us he had the Pokeball controller before the Pro controller,
Probably went to go get some like Totino's pizza rolls.
No, he's store brand. Not even those ones.
oh, here he
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Sean, do you have the Pokeball controller or not the Pro controller?
I had to buy that.
All right, we're moving on. we're moving on. Oh
Confirmed.
man. Let me go through some of these super chats before we get into some of the topics here. Kurt Riffy with $1, no message, thank you. Dual Wall with 99 cents, no message, thank you. I Am Legend. So, that was one where it said took 9.5 months to get, or not take a month and a half to get it. And got it this week. That's for the shirt, Evan, that we were talking about before.
Yep.
I Am Legend also said Spawn Wave arms are actual size on the shirt I got. I hope not. Those are like, I don't know, like I'm like this big on the shirt, right? Let me go through. First one during the PlayStation Direct, that was for the State of Play. It's for I Legend talking about the shirts. I guess they got 2 shirts. Yes.
Yes. Bottom.
Okay, cool. Frostbite said on the VR headset, how is the gyroscope on the Switch without Joy-Cons? I've been curious how accurate it is without the controllers. It's actually very accurate. I did find one point where it told me to lay it down on a table to I guess recalibrate it. I don't know if you ran to that, Sean, with the Labo VR.
I did.
Yeah, it tells you to lay it down, but it works fine. I think a lot of people didn't know that there was gyro actually inside the Switch system itself, like the tablet part. It has gyro.
I had no idea. I discussed it on my video about that too, and a couple people corrected me. And I went to Nintendo's website, and I was like, "Holy shit, there it is!"
Yeah, it has
So,
gyro.
pretty cool,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people didn't know that.
It's kind of neat. Yeah, it works. It's quick too. It works well. So it's pretty good. Nicholas with $1, no message. Thank you. Saul with $1, no message. David Valdez with the big 25 saying just supporting the SpawnCast. Any initial thoughts on the Evercade and what publishers will be announced this month that signed on with them? I had a few people message me about that, and they haven't shown any actual images or dimensions of the system, but apparently it's going to mostly play 8-bit and 16-bit games, right? So, what did you see that, Sean? The Everspace or Evercade?
It sounds familiar. Let me look it up here. Brand new cartridge based handheld. Oh no, I have no idea what the fuck this is.
Yeah, it's a cartridge-based system that's apparently going to play like combination cartridges of 8-bit and 16-bit games. Apparently, they signed on publishers. I figure Konami was one of them.
Capcom probably.
Capcom probably too. Yeah. I don't know. They haven't really said much about it. It's interesting, and I was going to keep an eye on it to see what it turned out to be. But I think it's going to end up being like a cheap handheld, like a $60, $70 handheld, with little cartridges that basically emulate them. So. It looks cool, David, but I need to actually see the image. And when it does come out, I'll pick it up and we'll we'll break it down and everything to see what's in there. So, Deathwish Cassie says it's not true VR until I can smell Blight Town. Let's I don't know.
Let's smell a vision.
It's a Dark Souls.
Yeah. I wonder if they would be. I mean, that I remember that when that first came out. That was so hard to run that part of the game. That'd be interesting to do that in VR though. Big Milo says for Dragon Ball Heroes, Gorish, a Twitter guy, made a guide for heroes. Evan.
Yeah, he linked it to me. I checked it out. It's just all the cards.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Interesting. Joe says there's no way EA won't EA up Jedi Knight Fallen Order somehow. We're going to talk about that to figure out how they're going to do that. Yeah. Definitely, Joe.
Fantastic trailer, by the way, guys. It was
You need some
tons of gameplay.
Need some Robitussin in there, OJ.
And
that
Dylan
trailer.
said, bought one from Target today for $54, Sean, using the red card. There you go.
The hell's a red card?
Target
It's
has their
a
own
credit card.
card that's like their credit card, but you get percentages off by using their credit card.
How did I not hear about this Evercade?
Really?
hadn't heard about it yet,
I think it's pretty recent because people were messaging me about it yesterday. So I think it's pretty recent. Yeah, I had a couple messages come through about it. I've been looking at it, but I want to see them actually reveal the system.
Yeah, so really, there's only an FAQ to go on right now.
Yeah, it's like a silhouette of it or something. So
Yeah.
and then Stuff We Play with $1, no message. Thank you, Stuff We Play. And let's go over some of the stuff that happened this week. So we all saw the Nintendo Direct that took place, right?
Yeah, it was great.
We all saw that.
Yeah.
Hyped it up, made
Yeah.
videos about it, talking about it coming. It's great.
Yeah.
So there was an interesting situation with Gaming Intel, right, Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gaming Intel said that there was going to be a direct on Thursday. That was the 11th. There was not one.
Some wrong intel.
Yes, wrong intel. There was a lot of questioning about that place too when they were bringing that stuff up, and it was interesting the way it spread. I mean, because they really just put it out on Twitter and then on their website, right? And then it got picked up by like some pretty big websites actually, and it kind of took off from there. Nate, you had a good video about the direct stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty evergreen.
I don't think it'll ever be out of date.
No, I mean, nobody has watched it since it's gone up, but it's the most relevant thing to directs that will probably ever be published on YouTube.
Yeah, so there was a lot of us were kind of hesitant about that. And now, I don't know if Gaming Intel will really be reported on much at all anymore. So they hyped everyone up, and it did not work out.
They definitely will. People have short memories when it comes to directs and Nintendo hype in general. So if they tweeted out today and reported that Mother 4 was going to be Switch Pro exclusive, it would spread on Twitter and YouTube and gaming forums and Reddit, and people would be like, "Oh my god!"
It just takes one person to say it.
I'm gonna disagree with that just a little bit because they put out another. We have exclusive inside info. You know what's it called? They said Miiverse was originally put for this
Switch.
and for Switch, and nobody reported. I looked at it, I'm like. No, not after that. They literally just did the same thing. We have exclusive sources that say this. Nobody reported on that.
Well, I think
that'd be a big news, right? That'd be somewhat of big news. So.
I
I think it's because of the Miiverse. Like,
it could be, but well, and that's the thing. So I think when it comes to rumors like this, the reason any rumor gets picked up without any like substantial evidence behind it is if it's a thing people want to have, they want it to be true. Like, I want Metroid Prime 4 to release next year. I want a Nintendo Direct in 3 days. Like, I don't really care when the hell Miiverse came out, so no one really picks that story up. But the Nintendo Direct, people are dying for that next one. So I think that's why they end up getting picked up. And people are like, I'll believe it enough to believe it. That's what
they're gonna every week they're gonna say that until they're right. Then they're just gonna remember that one time.
It just takes someone like with some sort of audience to say it. It's like, hey, Nintendo Direct this upcoming Thursday, and now someone out of hearing that's gonna go to Twitter and be like, guys, I heard that there's gonna be a Nintendo Direct Thursday, and then that someone else gonna pick that up, then retweet it, then website.
Yeah. And it happened with the last Direct where a guy put up a bunch of random ass predictions and then deleted the ones that were wrong after the airing. So people are like, oh my god, look, he leaked the whole Direct. No, he said 50 things and deleted 30 wrong ones and left the ones that were kind of accurate. So people thought he knew shit. Gains like 5,000 Twitter followers.
Yeah.
People are always looking for something.
Well,
They have short memories and they don't care whether the person's reliable or not. It just comes down to, well, I think they know something.
Yeah, there are some reliable people out there though for this stuff so far that have proved I'd say most people, if King Zell says something, people are gonna be like, okay, yeah, let's take him seriously. Whereas Gaming Intel, not so much. So there you go. But it did spread pretty quick. So we'll see if Gaming Intel. I'm curious if they try something else. Like, are they going to come back and say this week Nintendo Direct this week, and then the next week, and the next? I'll be curious if they just try to name it again. I was shocked, by the way, that they even tried to put a date on it, because if they never did that and they just stuck with their April prediction, they'd probably be right.
I thought it was funny after it didn't happen, and they were tweeting like, "Sorry, it looks like we're talking to our source now. We don't know what happened. It was supposed to happen." I was like, "It wasn't. Nothing was going to happen on that day."
Yeah, I just tried to help them out with the kill gif, because it wasn't working. It wasn't working.
What are you talking about? We got God Eater 3 announced. There was supposed to be a direct, damn it.
My problem was, and I did in the video, I could not believe that Gaming Intel was the only place that had heard about that. Generally, we can turn up something about it. Nothing. And I was like, I couldn't believe that Gaming Intel was the only one that knew. And I'm like, there's no way.
I think what helped fuel some of the Gaming Intel spread was that you had Marcus Sellers come out on Twitter. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if a direct is announced tomorrow and it has a special guest. Nothing happens.
Who?
I mean, yeah, what's the special guest going to be? Reggie?
His final appearance.
I hope it's more of that
He has 2
Katie
days.
Casper chick. I like that chick.
It's not just the way you say it; it's the setting behind the thing.
Yeah, you're on a couch in
Sitting in the
black.
dark, leaning back.
It's the damn innuendo with your freaking Netflix and chill. So Sean, YouTuber, Netflix and chill. Set ready to go.
Oh gosh. So I think it was, you're right, Nate. It was one thing after the other, and it just hyped up beyond belief online. And everybody wants it, obviously, because they want to see Joker. We hear about Stage Builder now, and then other things. So
yeah, it's just everyone wants a direct. Someone says, "Oh, you're going to get a direct." So people want to believe in that direct, and then there's no direct, and people say, "Oh, what happened to the direct?" And it's a carnival of crazy.
It is definitely that, but you have to remember, I mean, I'm someone who isn't really mad about it. I discussed it in the video. I don't really have any problem with the fact that they put out a fake leak and people got crazy about it. But I think that when you think about a Nintendo Direct, every like 6 to 8 weeks, you could probably say, I bet there's going to be a Nintendo Direct soon. Like, that's just the cycle we all know anyway. So maybe like these guys thought they had something that they could believe in, or maybe they were literally just taking a crazy fucking shot in the dark and they're like, it makes sense to happen this week. Reggie's leaving this week, and so we all expect it. And so they literally just threw a dart at the dartboard and said, this is the day that we want to say it's actually going to happen. Because you can guess, people can guess the next Nintendo Direct pretty closely.
Well,
So
yeah, I mean,
that's probably
the
where
thing.
a lot of that comes from. You know?
You can look at historical trends and be like, oh, a direct is going to come in April. Well, then a
Exactly.
direct airs, April 26th. The problem is it's the person saying it. That doesn't make them an insider, and it doesn't even suggest that they have information. They speculated, and they just put it out there as that. And then it happens, and they say, look at me, I know something. But if it misses, they'll just, oh, well, I was just guessing, guys.
I do think that maybe Monday we'll have a video from like Reggie, like a final goodbye as his last day, and like him saying, all right, here's Doug Bowser, have a good one, everyone. Some really sad video continuing off his last video announcing his retirement.
they need to put it on YouTube, because they put it on Twitter, and I'm like, they should probably put it like
they always
YouTube
end
and
up putting
Twitter and
stuff on Twitter recently.
I mean, I think they should put it on both, put it everywhere
Yeah.
they can.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think that's why they didn't have a direct right now, because I think the next direct will have Doug Bowser, like, saying hello, like a formal hello, and then going into the regular direct with whoever presents it.
I think they have way more Twitter followers than YouTube subscribers. It seems like they got nearly 10 million on Twitter.
I mean, doesn't hurt.
Doesn't
hurt.
I'm wondering why maybe they did that. You think, but I'm just looking at like their Twitter. It's like double the size of their YouTube. So it's like
Yeah. And most people are probably just going to share that tweet on the website anyway. So like on the Eurogamer and Game Informer and all these places, they'll just share that tweet, embed it. So
and YouTube doesn't work half the time too. So we all
Yeah.
factor that in. That's why like notifications and things don't always work.
man,
Whereas
Twitter's
works.
compression with video is so bad sometimes. Oh gosh.
That first 10 seconds is always a problem.
Yeah, it's ugly. But yeah, so that's like I think they should just stuck with their April prediction, and they probably would have been fine. Because even if it was just a Smash Direct, they could still be like, "Oh, there's your Direct," you know, because they know something is being put out there for Joker.
They did that in November, where there's gonna be 2 Directs, and then it was like there was some shitty little Direct that didn't even like count.
It was an indie. It was an Indies one, right? An Indies one, and then it was
Smash Brothers.
Smash,
yeah.
right?
And but then they were like, "Oh yeah, that event. There was like a tournament or something took place. Like, yeah, we mixed it up with that. We thought that was going to be a Direct. You can't just find another Nintendo event and be like, yeah, that's what it was. No, it doesn't work like that.
Sure it does.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can try it.
No,
Like Nintendo's going to launch a new system on April 12th. Like, well, they didn't, but they came out with a new game. What are you talking about?
Did you see the satire piece that DualShockers put out, messing with like poking fun at Gaming Intel, where it said,
Oh
like,
yeah. They were like, a Nintendo Direct is going to come out sometime between next week and forever, or something.
yeah,
right?
all eternity or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wouldn't it be something if Nintendo canceled the Directs and then they were even wrong?
No more
I
Directs
don't know
ever.
what they talking about though. What is DualShockers talking about? With a developer will tweet one thing, they'll sit there and say like, we have this exclusive scoop of all this news. Like, DualShockers be doing all
They go on
sorts of silly
ESRB
stuff.
and they'd be like, Bing leaks of game, special new feature. Like ESRB, like God of War, sex content. Like, really?
They don't need
Come
to
on.
be especially with PlayStation games, so they don't need to be talking, bro.
Yeah, you go on N4G and they're always at the
chill.
top, and it's something vague as hell. Be like,
Yeah.
new Atlas game will have graphics.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Exclusive PlayStation 4 exclusive. Exclusive
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Yeah. Dead or Alive has tits and ass. New screenshots of tits and ass.
Have you
3D
seen
screenshots of tits?
on N4G? Like every time a nude patch gets released for a game, it's always like the top story.
Yeah, it's always DualShock.
Classy.
Like, what is
Wait,
wrong
really?
with you?
N4G new top story? I can't wonder why. I mean, the people that go to I have no idea why people.
Someone made nude models of Devil May Cry 5. Oh my. I saw that everywhere the day that happened. I was like, is it that big of a deal? It happens like every game.
Hey Sean, let me drop this in so you can read it because it's a question for you. This is funny. That's one of the super.
Oh
chats
yeah,
for you.
I know. It's
Oh, we
one
were laughing about that.
We're gonna go through some of these super chats if you want to read that out for everybody, since there are people who are probably curious about that. Apparently,
Go ahead,
Well,
Sean.
I don't have the super chats lined up.
No, he just
in the,
Put it in the chat.
Oh, thanks.
yeah, I got you.
My nipples, they hurt when you twist them, asks. RGT85, I heard you were selling premium snaps. I was talking to some of the guys. There's a lot of interest. Will it be full nude or just nips? You know, it was something I was toying around with the idea because there's a lot of games dropping this month. And, additional income is always good. And plus, somebody asked in my Q&A, what would happen if YouTube went under, and that was probably my first option. We haven't quite gotten to there yet, but when there is an update on that, I will definitely reach out to you and let you know what we're planning for that sort of content.
Very nice. It's big business on Patreon, right?
Those premium snaps, dude. Checks for you.
Premium snaps. I mean,
That's
depends how
why-
much you charge for a lifetime license.
That's why
Yeah.
John Cartwright and I of Game Explain are launching our own YouTube channel called Handsome Boys Gaming, where we will have a calendar of sexy photos of us for Patreons who give us at least $1,500 a month.
Not bad.
Nice. I was launching one called "Don't Want to See Ugly Face," where people pay me so I don't put my face on things.
I ain't paying you nothing, bro. I gotta
Exactly. Well, now I'm going to show you my face.
Yeah, it's because he wants to see your face, man. It's fine.
Aw, so kind.
Let me go through.
It's big if true.
Win says it says sup bums. Why Walgreens pizza rolls, not Walmart?
I mean, Walmart's cool, but Walmart's the kind of place where like they have so much different stuff. Like you end up spending a lot more money than you anticipate, actually spending when you go in there. Well, Walgreens, it's more contained. You can't I have been eyeing. They got some of the World of Nintendo toys in my Walgreens, and I've been eyeing them, but I never really pulled the trigger on that. But with like a Walmart, you got toys, you got video games, you got movies, you got electronics. Like that shit's cool.
They got pro controllers.
So the danger is just with your like general ADD of just being like, crap, I bought all this shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It happens
That
a
happened
lot.
to me a while with socks, man. They always had these really cool athletics. And I just kept on buying. I'm like, I gotta stop, man. So that happened to me. It's happened to everybody, bro.
Dude, I'm like the least into like socks that everyone I know. Everyone always has like cool, crazy socks. I have like one pair of cool socks and it's cat dog. That's it.
I just like my athletic. Like
I just like my plain old white
They're
socks.
just good, man.
All
They
good.
make it so your feet don't sweat, like when you go work out and stuff like. And they were
Working
so
out.
comfortable. Yeah.
That's a funny one.
Jordan, when you go to too many games, do we hit the gym in the morning?
All right, let's do it. I'm in.
All right.
Day one.
If I'm not blacked out, I'll be there.
Hey, that hotel gives you I think it's a free pass to the gym.
Dude, I
across the
think
street, so.
I think the hotel has a free pass for it, and if someone's using
It does.
they no longer have the free
Oh.
pass.
I think they had a deal for people who just had a room there, but it's the gym I go to here anyway, so I can go to it without like them. So it was good last year though. It was a fine gym.
Oh heck, and then we can go to that wing place.
Yes, we could go to the wing place. Yes, we'll hit
And
wing.
ruin
Gym
everything we
and-
worked off.
No, the
the
night before.
gym
No,
and
no,
wings.
no. We just get the just like the regular wings, like boned wings, so they don't have like the
Oh,
skin
yeah.
on them. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
We were trying to order like 100 of them, but they wouldn't sell them to us for some reason. It was like in quantities of 20 is all we could get. So,
Well, we're buying 100, boys.
there you go. They were good though. They were good. On the Go Gamer main says still laughing. I guess that's at Sean's lack of pro controller or his
Lack of
culinary
lamps.
or his culinary
Nipples.
expertise with pizza rolls. At
I'm going
Walmart.
with
I'm not sure.
nipples.
Or that. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Lack of nipples.
Skull says talk about the lack of Mortal Kombat 11 Switch footage. This is interesting.
Seen
Nate,
portable stuff.
you've seen it, Nate, and you said it's fine, but they won't show
Yeah.
it. Why do you think they won't show it?
I mean, the rep at PAX East was just kind of like I don't think they want comparisons to be made before launch, basically.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
guess.
it doesn't look bad. It's
No, look
I don't
pretty
know
good.
why they're treating it so.
Yeah, but
Weird.
it's obviously going to be less quality, of course. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
but
how
I
it's
mean,
gonna
at
be.
this point, if people are expecting one-to-one parity, then I mean, that's their own
But-
fault.
But without it being there, without the visual comparison being there, that's less of a chance for the community to just toxify
confused.
itself and then annoy
Yeah.
each other. And you don't want that before you release a game. It's just a community making fun of each other for their choices. That's a terrible idea.
I mean, it's probably a mix of if they show docked footage, it's going to be compared to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version, and people are going to say, "Oh, it doesn't look as good." But they also can't just show you handheld footage because then people are going to say, "Oh, it looks fine handheld," but you're going to have the people thinking it's docked, and they're going to have this big argument that it doesn't look good or this
Yeah, but
minor effect is missing.
That's
I-
what they actually want it to be, though. I'm sure that they're like, if the docked Switch footage gets out there, some people might be confused and see that and say, "Oh, it doesn't look as good as I expected, so maybe I don't want it." Whereas when they show that handheld footage, there's no question to any random person looking at it what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's going to look and run a little bit better. So they probably want that to be the messaging. And knowing Nintendo, we have to remember Nintendo also likes these kinds of things too. You know, in the Wii days, they're like, we don't want to see a single person online playing the Wii unless they got the wrist strap on and they're doing this and that. So Nintendo might also have their own thing where they really like showing off docked footage of games on their system as well. So it could be coming from either end, you know?
Yeah, because Mortal Kombat 11 is coming out soon.
It's like
That's
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I mean, you'll see footage on YouTube, obviously, at some point. But yeah, I'm not. I guess that's all I can think of, Nate, is the drawing comparisons. So
I mean, that's what the rep was saying at PAX East of why we couldn't capture over-the-shoulder footage, is that they didn't want unfair comparisons being made, especially because it was an older build being shown at PAX East, and they said if you want to film off-screen footage, go to the PlayStation booth and you can film the television, which was kind of like a,
Oh, so
well,
they
I
wouldn't
don't
even
want the
let you...
PlayStation 4 version. I can play the beta right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
so I
it's
thought
just
they
weird.
weren't letting direct dock footage. You said they wouldn't even let you do off-screen, just filming
No,
the TV.
Nothing.
Wow, okay,
couldn't
I
do
didn't know
anything.
that. I thought it was just direct. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
if you
pretty-
tried to capture footage, people would come over to you and be like, no.
Yeah, you got to go.
It's,
Take your
yeah,
phone out of your hand, throw it on the ground, smash it.
they
That's why you wear the
really,
spy glasses.
I wish I had some spy glasses so I could have got that. but
Yeah, right.
No, to be
I
honest,
don't know
though, man,
why they're
I
so...
think, I think that they should definitely show. Like, they need to let people at least know. I mean, like, what about pre-orders? What about people that want to make the decision if you're a multi-console owner? I
Yeah.
mean, like,
There'll be a
I mean,
launch day trailer that's just catered to
But-
the Switch, probably.
But that's ridiculous. If they wait all the way till launch day, that's ridiculous. I feel that's ridiculous in terms of like in this pre-order culture. And
I
all
don't
the stuff that they're
disagree.
doing. So I mean, like,
I don't even know who's even handling it. Like, is it
Shiver.
WB? Because no,
Shiver.
like who's distributing and everything? Is it WB or
It's
is it
WB.
WB.
because I talked to them and
It's WB.
they didn't have they had because I talked to them last week.
Well, that's the other
Week ago?
issue. Is people are requesting review code, and WB is very much a we don't have Switch code. You want
Yes.
Xbox or PS4? So they seem to be almost washing their hands of this version entirely, and they're almost avoiding any coverage they can
Yeah.
until launch day, and someone picks it up.
Yeah, they asked. They were like, "Oh, what do you want? You could pick these ones," and Switch was not on there. It was I picked Xbox One, but Switch was not on there.
I picked PC, so I got a PC code.
I mean, maybe they're not confident in this build. I mean, it played fine, it looked good. Maybe they're just not confident in its selling. Maybe they want to blindside people and hope you get some impulsive buys on launch day, and then there'll be positive word of mouth that will bring in some double dippers.
But
It's a weird marketing strategy.
What's the point of putting out the game if you're not going to promote the game? And then it's like one of those things where, like, if it sells like shit, they're going to be like, "Oh, this game sold like shit. I guess people don't want our WB games on here." It's like, no, you didn't promote it. You didn't give me any incentive or reason to check out that version of the game. Obviously, I will buy Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch because the video of the Switch version will more than likely do better than a video on the Xbox One or PS4 version for me. But in the same breath, you want when you release a game, you want it to be successful. Anything you release, you want it to work out. You want it to be successful. And this is just handicapping it unnecessarily.
Someone clip that and send it to EA.
I do actually think that despite all this stuff where it seems like they're trying not to let Switch stuff get out there, I bet it's going to sell pretty well, luckily. I mean, it's getting the day and date release, which is nice to finally see that stuff happening for the Switch. It's a really high-profile game. I think Nintendo fans, like myself included, are really excited that this game is coming to the Switch and that it's day and date. So it obviously does have that handicap you're talking about, Sean, but I feel like the sales are going to be pretty solid. So
It's
I sure
Mortal
hope so, at
Kombat.
least.
It's
Yeah,
Mortal
it's-
Kombat coming back anywhere that you want. That's pretty damn cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just cool to have Mortal Kombat back on a Nintendo system and play it anywhere. As somebody who plays Smash a lot, like, and when I go to tournaments, it's dope to be able, like, we don't have a lot of setups, where I'm at, so it's like dope to be able to just like, hey, let's get a match in right now, and we'll sit there and play with our, and we'll play right there. So same thing goes for like lots of these other games. I mean, Dragon Ball Fighters, I've seen it too. People playing Dragon Ball Fighters on their Switch when we go to these tournaments and stuff. So it's cool to have that ability to take it anywhere that you want. And I think it'll do well enough because of the history of Mortal Kombat on on Nintendo platforms and
that's-
back.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of like a side benefit to the fact that they're forcing the handheld only stuff. Like, at least that footage differentiates the Switch version, right? So at least people are like, hey, that's the maybe that's why I want to buy it on the Switch, because I can see it running on the Switch, and holy shit, that's Mortal Kombat on the Switch. So now I want that one instead of the Xbox version.
See, I think that's why they did their marketing as they did at PAX East, of having it in handheld mode, of you're playing it, you're seeing it runs fine, you're seeing that it looks good in handheld mode. So you're not even going to be concerned about docked performance, because if it's playing well in handheld, it should be fine docked. So I think that's what their marketing strategy kind of is, but it's just a complete failure to show the
How
game.
was the frame rate?
Outside
What was
of
the
PAX.
frame rate? What was
60
the
frames a
frame rate?
second.
Even docked too? Well, obviously
We didn't see it
docked.
docked. Yeah, it was just.
Oh, they didn't even. Oh, see, I'm
No,
learning
it was-
so much. I thought you could play it, but they wouldn't let you film it. They weren't
you-
even letting it go docked.
You could only play in handheld mode.
Okay.
I used to play Mortal Kombat on the Vita all the time. I liked it there.
I used to play Mortal Kombat 2 on my Game Boy at church, and I always felt really cool.
You're going to hell.
Fatality.
Playing
I had it
Kombat
on the Game
whole
Gear,
way.
man. I played Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 in the Game Gear a lot, and I thought it was pretty cool.
What was interesting is we noticed that at a few of the tournaments we used to run back in the day, Evan and I noticed that Tekken on, I believe, console and PSP, I think, ran similar in terms of timing. So people had both copies and they would practice.
As far as we could tell, the frames matched up. So people would just sit there playing.
So you can see that with Mortal Kombat 11, where people buy both versions if they go to tournaments and stuff, and they would play the Switch version when it's not their turn and try to get their
Maybe it depends. I don't see it. I was hoping we would start seeing it more with the Switch as it got released, but I'm not seeing it as much outside of like Smash tournaments and stuff.
Well, I guess Too Many Games will be the next convention that we'll go to and see if there's more there. I mean, by then there should be 30-something million Switches out there, so We'll see. We'll see. Let me go through some of these super chats, then we'll talk a bit about Star Wars. Monkey Boy says, bought Borderlands $56 on eBay, no pre-orders at GameStop. I hope, is that Borderlands the one you were talking about, Jordan, that's like ridiculously expensive?
He left.
Okay, Jordan's gone.
Yeah,
That's too much for
it.
Borderlands.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll say Borderlands 3 at $56 is probably good. But if that's the remaster one, that's like almost double the price.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a ripoff there.
Maul says, what was the first bad game you all played as kids?
That
I realized was bad.
That's a good question.
Mario's Missing.
Yeah, the game's pretty trash.
That was a learning game. They tricked me.
I mean, there was so many NES games we were renting all the time, man. I feel like I could have been my own angry video game nerd, man. I can't. There's so many bad games.
There
It's
was
tough to
this
say.
game called like Golo 13 or something.
Go
13.
13. Yeah.
Golgo 13.
It's not a bad game.
I hated that. Well, when I was a kid, I thought it was trash.
Yeah, I didn't.
I
like
hated it. I was like, this game sucks. So yeah, that's and anything the LGN stuff or LJN or whatever. There's something nerd rants on. Like we had that crap too. My dad would just come home with like boxes like full of like 10 to 15 trashed up NES games that we'd buy at yard sales. He'd be like, here you guys go, early Christmas. I'm like, but it's like July. Oh well, like, take it. So I'm like, I'll take it. You know, like so, and we would just play them. You know, and a lot of them suck.
I think for me, because like I remember games going back to them and not remembering. Oh, I thought this was good when I was younger. It's actually crap. The first one I realized was probably the fourth Spyro game, that Enter the Dragonfly. As it was rushed out, completely buggy.
Is that the one with Elijah Wood? Which one had Elijah Wood?
That's the Legend series. That's,
okay.
That's later on.
I think I played that on the GameCube, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I had it on the GameCube as well.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I mean, I'll say one of the worst games I remember buying on launch day and being excited to play was Brute Force for my Xbox.
Oh god.
Oh, the hype was so big, man.
The hype was huge for that game. Like, this is the big Microsoft exclusive for the Xbox. And I bought it at launch. I was like, this is going to be awesome. And I looked at the back of the box, and it was the same 4 screenshots that they had in magazines for like 2 years. I was like, okay, that's not a good sign. Put it in my Xbox, played the first few stages, ran out of ammo in the middle of a stage, and I couldn't kill any other characters, so I couldn't get more ammo, so I couldn't beat the mission. Took it out of the Xbox, brought it to EB Games, and traded it in. And the guy said, "What's wrong with the game?" I said, "It's a piece of shit. Give me." I'm like, "I can't get my money back, so I might as well get like $20."
Yeah, they were
Brute
trying to
Force.
ride the. That was when like Halo was still like the hottest shit on the planet.
Yeah.
And it was like that was the only reason people had an Xbox was for Halo, and they were trying to create like another Halo hype type exclusive game, and it was definitely not Brute Force because that game Brute sucked. It was so bad.
That game, I still remember the stupid alligator guy saying, "I'd rather use my hands," but he had no melee attack, so he couldn't use his hands. And I'm like, I can't beat the mission because you can't kill anybody, and you're saying, "I'd rather use my hands to pick up this gun on the ground." But you can't.
Game design.
That game
bad.
wronged you, man.
How does that go through Q&A? Be like, what's he say at this point? I'd rather use my hands. Yeah, but he can't. It's just like, well, we didn't design this game right then. He shouldn't be saying that. You may as well say, I'm a fucking alligator and I can't hold a gun anyways.
Drake and the 99 Dragons. So that's all I gotta say. How'd that game get
good.
through anything in Q&A? So
What's the NES game that's like Dark Castle or Dark you play it was like I think it was also trying to build on like Zelda hype at the time, and you were going through
Secret
like
Castle?
No, it's not that. It's
No,
like,
I think it was called Dark Castle.
I think Dark Castle, right? Does that sound right? Because that I mean I don't know if that's the game because this game really sucked. Did Dark Castle suck? Because if it did, then that's the game I'm thinking of. There you go. Then that's the one. It's bad. It's very bad.
Eric says, so when physical games no longer exist, am I gonna have to go to Walmart for food? In quotation marks.
Yeah, when is downloadable food coming? Is that gonna happen?
I guess he's saying, Sean, if there's no more games to buy physically.
Deadly Towers. That's what he meant. That's what it was. But Dark Castle is a Genesis game. It was originally like an Amiga game, and then it came to the Genesis. I believe
He's evading the question.
No, I want the food like in Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh, they just throw it in little miniatures.
Yeah.
And throw it in. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's cool.
Not bad.
Ethan R said gaming intel SpawnCast nude patch.
Who would be nude? Gaming
That's-
Intel or us?
That's episode
know, it's just
150.
maybe it's a rumor start because they do rumors and stuff.
Oh,
I
there's
don't
a
know.
rumor of
That's
us?
all
I
I
mean,
can. That's all I can assume.
There
is what
doesn't
they're
need to
getting
be
at.
a patch for me. There's like pictures of me out there. So.
Episode 169.
Shirtless
Shirtless. That's the shirtless episode.
Stuff we play says pitching a couple bucks to the pizza roll fund.
Who gets the money for that?
No, it's $2
Mostly
Canadian.
YouTube.
YouTube,
You
yeah.
don't want it? Oh yeah, actually, yeah, that's okay. Good point.
YouTube's like pizza rolls, baby, on SpawnCast. Let's go.
Pizza rolls for Stadia.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Carter says if you're going to the gym, go to the ice rink and see how that goes instead. It's right down the street. I don't think that would go well. I'm not an ice rink person.
No,
I'm not an ice skating person. It wouldn't go well.
No, same here. That's it.
Although it would be something cool to know how to do, be able to ice skate really well, but I can't do that.
But when does it come in handy? Like, when are you ever in a situation where you're like, oh, I can ice skate my way through this?
Hey,
These blades real quick.
When the world freezes over, you're like, oh, I can make it to
Yes.
that Walmart that's still open and just skate all the way over there.
Ethan R says we should not be asking why WB is not showing Switch gameplay. We should really ask, is MK11 too gory for Switch?
No.
Is that-
He's joking.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Troll.
I think I was wrong.
Yeah. Is this Switch Force again?
Yeah, he's
Are
he's
you
just-
in the chat?
He's just making a joke. So.
It's so gory for Switch that when you actually do a fatality in handheld mode, the system shuts off.
Just parental controls.
Yeah, they pop up saying,
It does like an Eternal Darkness thing where it's just like, sorry, this is too gory. We're breaking your system and bricking it. You have to buy a new Switch. That's the true fatality here.
I wonder if YouTube figured out their whole thing with Mortal Kombat 11 yet. I just realized that with like their demonetization and stuff that they're doing. Yeah, because then they also don't push them out at all, which is interesting, or share them. I wonder if they'll fix that before release.
I don't think so.
Well, if they're not, the first 5 seconds of mine is going to be like Baraka ripping someone's brain out just to do it, just to be like, oh, all right, I'm demonetized now. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat 11.
You can, if you edit out here's what's not going to get demonetized. Don't edit out fatalities. If you edit out fatalities, nothing should come up. Like
Hell no.
That's what people want to see.
I'm putting more than in them. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it to do it.
all the gameplay you show.
I'm working for that $yellow sign for that video.
If you remember when like the first Adpocalypse even happened, I think it was at that time. That was when even like Call of Duty footage and stuff, like any sort of game that had like a bullet or a gun or anything, they were like, nope. And so for a while, you couldn't put any video game that wasn't like a happy fluffy time game. So
what's your favorite happy fluffy time game?
Yoshi.
Yoshi's the only game I've seen, I swear, that has 2 easy modes.
Yeah, you give the Yoshi like wings and he can fly through the whole level.
No, it's like the standard mode is easy, and then it's like, in case that's too hard, he's even easier. We make you fly. You can't fall.
That's the
You
Nintendo
can't
way,
die.
man.
Buy Yoshi.
Eric says Goose Game Boys.
Hell
Goose Game
yeah.
coming out at the end of this year, and it's going to be ridiculous.
Is it that far away?
It got delayed.
That
it got
long?
delayed.
Yeah, the damn goose
How
stole
hard is
like
it
the
to
friggin'
make?
build and walked away.
Yeah, great. Yeah, we got to.
Goose physics, man.
You know what?
Yeah.
Talk about this game for over a year.
I need to email the developer so I can get a goose from my area that was in the news. It got shot by an arrow, lived, walked around the pond for like a week with the arrow through its chest, was like, what's up? They finally caught it so they could get the arrow out of it, and the thing's like recovered. Like it was like the 50 cent of ducks.
It needs to be shot with about 8 more arrows first. But
He has to be in Goose
close
Game.
enough.
Like he has to be able to get shot by the hunter, be like, what's up, bitch?
He's on the cover.
Yeah, but greatness awaits. That's gonna be so. That's actually gonna be really fun when that comes out. That Dan guy says, "I just want to see a video of Sean trying to buy a Pro controller with lamps."
Where the hell did Sean go?
To go buy lamps.
Where did Sean go?
Went to the lamp store.
The shadows took him. It's great.
He had to go buy a couple lampshades.
And then Steven says, how is Sekiro treating you all? I'm working through the final boss still. I haven't had any time this week to play it, but I
had to
on the final boss, and I'm on his 3rd stage. There's 4 stages for the final boss. I've worked through 3 of them, but then obviously you got to start back over. So I figured out his first 2, and I'm working through his 3rd.
I was going to ask the way you described that. I'm not yet at him. The way you described that, I was like, wait, did they give you like a save state between phases?
Oh, no.
Which didn't sound right. Okay, that didn't sound right. Yeah.
It took my one Twitch buddy 8 hours solid to beat him.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna buy it until they add an easy mode, guys.
Controversial statement. How dare you?
Sekiro's been great. It's been great watching people get their asses handed to them. I've been enjoying. I've been living vicariously through all the good players.
You got to try it, OJ. You got to do it, man.
I'm good, man. I'm watching Faraz do no hit damageless runs. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna live vicariously through you, buddy. Have fun. But I can't. At this point in my life, I can't sit there and play a game that's just I'm gonna die 5 gazillion times over again. Like I
get that. I'm actually I've been on a break for about 3 or 4 days now because I just needed one for my sanity. But I'm at what I think is the first fight with the owl with your father. So that's where I'm at. If that sounds familiar to anyone, and it's pretty hard. It's pretty goddamn hard.
And then Boss Hog says, "Spawn, do you even left, bro?" I write. So let's move on to Jedi: The Fallen Order.
Wow. Wait, is this like the first real topic besides like Labo VR kind of integrated on?
Pizza roll.
We talked about Nintendo Direct Fusion as well, right? Confusion.
Oh, yeah.
I only had a couple up here because I thought some of them were going to get kind of off the
I was about to say, it's like it's an hour and 20 minutes and we're just on our first topic.
That's why I only put 4 up there just to make sure some of the bigger ones that have taken place. Obviously, Jedi. But Jedi: The Fallen Order was revealed technically, release date November 15th at the Star Wars Celebration. They showed a cinematic trailer, no gameplay, which was odd, but I think that's E3. That's in 2 months. I assume that's where they'll show us gameplay.
EA is not even at E3.
Well, they're still gonna have their live streams, and they're still gonna have like gameplay sessions of games. They said of games that are coming this year.
Yeah,
so
there's a certain game that they have to show there that I'm waiting for. So
maybe the fourth. I mean,
yeah, the Force. The Force is with you. Jedi game, right? Yeah.
Is that one on deck? Is that a game that's on deck?
I think 4 of us used to skate here, though, right? At least 4 of us used to skate.
Oh my god.
They're probably gonna show that there. That's what I'm thinking, Nate. I think they're gonna have like a whole gameplay session of it, probably a panel, and they'll probably do that thing where they like talk over the gameplay and stuff, like we've seen with like Assassin's Creed happened, Odyssey, I believe, one year. And
I'm tired of these reveals that show nothing of the game. It's not a movie. Show the game in your game reveal trailer.
Nate, you saw the you saw the actor though, right? That they have. You didn't see the you know the actor.
Star Wars doesn't mean anything to me. I've never seen the original trilogy.
What?
Boo.
But you know the actor though. I'm gonna tell you now you do because I've seen you tweet about the show that he's become kind of popular for now.
Who is it?
Cameron. How do you say his last name?
Cameron.
Monaghan?
Oh, Cameron Monaghan from using Gotham and Shameless.
Yeah, he plays Joker in Gotham.
That's a pretty good pickup,
right? He's a good actor. Yeah, he's the main character in the game.
People in the audience were pretty excited when they announced him.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. If you've watched Gotham, which is a good show, by the way, everyone should watch it. He's very good in that show. They've brought him back from the dead like 3 times because he's such a good actor. Although I don't think anyone actually dies in that show, so I don't know.
No, I think the only character who actually died in Gotham was Fish Mooney.
And there goes the so you just spoiled that for people who haven't even seen it yet. Actually, no.
I guess I don't have to watch.
No, there's another one, Nate. There's another one. There's another person I'm thinking of. I'll type it in the chat for you.
Didn't they just announce that like the last season is coming for that show? Like the last episode?
Yep. Everyone's waiting for this last thing because they're finally gonna have Batman in it. Everyone's waiting.
Probably.
They're gonna have a time jump and everything. But yeah.
And then there's gonna be a Batman show after that, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Batman.
So Jedi Fallen Order, they did. Does anyone think it was funny that EA had to actually go on social media and tell people that there would be no microtransactions and that they wouldn't add them later?
Dude, I felt so personally attacked because I was literally like the day before on OJ's podcast saying, of course they're going to find a way to mess it up. They're going to have some sort of like everything I listed. They're just like, no, we're not going to have this. No, we're not going to have this. I'm like, likely story. And OJ, I've heard you say it a couple times. They did not say season pass at all. So probably a season pass somewhere going to happen. But I don't believe them. It's a wait till see. I have to see it first.
They're not going to be storefront transactions. It's just going to be like they're going to name it something else, man. It's going to be great.
It's not even microtransactions. They're going to be called macro transactions because they're going to cost more.
I'm pretty confident they'll have DLC. I think that's straight up. Yeah,
they got to monetize it somehow extra.
Thousands and thousands of DLC.
I don't mind DLC, but it's got to be good value. The problem is that EA's DLC has always been notoriously trashed here. I mean, as in like it's expensive and you don't get anything. And we've been seeing really good values in DLC lately, and like Uncharted, whatever, like the standalone, but that was a good price for what it was. I mean, Far Cry New Dawn, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I mean, is it going to be? I mean, they're probably going to want like $30 half the game, and how many hours are you going to get from that? That's the thing that I'm skeptical about when it comes to EA. I'm hoping that the development of this game, is maybe not as, it's Unreal Engine 4, right? From what we understand. Unreal Engine
apparently,
4,
yeah.
So maybe development time isn't as long, or maybe it's more optimized. So I'm hoping that they actually put that into a media adventure and not, oh, well, it's a single player and it's like 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours.
Is anyone surprised that they went back on what they said they wanted to do from now on, and it's going to be just straight single player?
This is all for good PR. I feel like they scrapped out stuff that was going to be in there on purpose just to say this kind of stuff.
I think they need this game because they're going to have to eventually renegotiate with Disney.
Yeah, this game, I see this as 100%, not 100%, but mostly like a good faith game and a good PR game.
They need a game that's going to be 90s Metacritic. They need it so they can be like, hey, Disney, look.
And I mean, honestly, the Star Wars brand and the Star Wars gaming situation, we all know how bad it is. As a diehard fan, I've been freaking yelling into the sky about how bad it is. And so this is also something that not only for like the publicity of we don't always put microtransactions in every of our games. See, they need that PR, but they also need the PR that says, hey, the Star Wars license does good things in video games. That's something Lucasfilm and Disney needs to see happen. And we all thought that Disney was going to pull the freaking plug on that relationship. And then they confirmed a couple months ago that they're not. And I'm sure that maybe part of it, just speculation, maybe part of it is, well, okay, don't you dare fuck up this Fallen Order game. Don't you do the things. I mean, Disney CEOs, Bob Iger, they don't know anything about the gaming community, but they're probably like, all those things people yelled at you guys about that video gamers don't like in their video games, don't put those things in your video game so that this one has good press. And the Star Wars brand, the value of it stays high in the mind of people. And that's why this is a good faith game. If EA's losing money by not putting microtransactions in it, and if they stick to that, then they're probably going to be willing to bite it, or at least try to make it up in DLC, like we're saying here.
They're going to ruin the other games that they have coming out, like a certain other game I know is going to be riddled with microtransactions.
Oh yeah, it's literally going to be a store you walk into in the game that has dollars.
Literally. Oh my god, it's going to be destroyed, and they're going to over monetize it now just because they're really going to take everything out of this other Star Wars game. Be like, look, brand new, look, it's a first player, nothing's in it. You get the game, you buy it $60 complete.
I'll also say, I'm shocked that they're giving it to Respawn and they're not letting BioWare make a single player straight up game.
Don't give them anything. You hear all that Dragon Age stuff?
Yeah, it sounds bad.
Oh my god, the BioWare's done. After that comes out and it's they're gone. This is it. I read that article last week on stream.
How did that go?
It was a 2.5 hour stream of me. That was a long ass article, but we read the whole stream. I literally was so mad at the end of it. It was crazy. It was a huge stream.
I heard a lot of people came out to watch you torment yourself reading that article.
And then I said, like, this is their only shot as Dragon Age 4. And then slightly after all this Dragon Age 4 stuff comes out, it's like Anthem, but with dragons. And I'm like, no, that is literally the opposite of anything you should do. BioWare, you have sealed your fate in cement. If this happens, you are going to be engulfed by EA and you will not exist after this game comes out.
There's no doubt that BioWare is next on the chopping block without question. I don't even know if Dragon Age came out and was good, I still don't even know if it would save them, but I would certainly like to think.
It might keep them going for a little longer, but
maybe. And in the Star Wars situation, it's a tragedy that we have to joke about BioWare making a Star Wars game. And 10 years ago, it would have been everyone's dream because of the two KOTOR games. It would have been like, yes, fucking please, make BioWare make a goddamn Star Wars. It's so obvious.
All those people
nowadays we're like, yeah, no, please don't. Just these BioWare, you stay in your corner kind of thing. And they really fell hard, man, coming from Mass Effect 2 and all that. So
all the people that made it great are gone. Tragedy. Most of them have left. Most of them jumped ship. Reading the stories of all these people, like there's such a disconnect at BioWare, and it's disgusting. Like all the infighting stuff. When I read that article, I wasn't just mad at one person or the other. I'm mad at BioWare for how their three branches interacted with each other. I'm mad at how EA ran it, and I'm mad at the higher-ups who didn't know what the hell they're doing. Everyone was just wrong, and that company is not BioWare as we used to know it. Something happened after Dragon Age Inquisition around that time. Everything just changed, and it's awful. And I would never let them handle a Star Wars game again. That'd be awful.
I would think if you go back to that, which was like 2015 or so, I want to say, like
2014 for Dragon Age.
2014, yeah. Like that's probably around the time that EA's current monetization philosophies really were starting to infiltrate. Because, I mean, if you track that back, that 4 or 5 years since 2014, even then, EA was doing bad shit, but the monetization specific thing wasn't the big hullabaloo. Now that we've seen that in the past 5 years, I bet you can trace that back to coming off of Inquisition and how they probably forced that into BioWare as well.
Well, I
crumbled it from the inside.
I do like the direction of Jedi Fallen Order, though, where we actually, get to play as basically a Padawan becoming a Jedi and everything, which is what we usually play as, whether it's Jedi Outcast or Jedi Academy. That's usually what happens. Jedi Knight even back on Windows 98, Windows 2000. But I'm happy to relive that same thing in that setting where they're basically on the run and you're trying to fit in. So I think they set a cool tone, but like. I feel like they should have had something ready for gameplay at all, like even like a level just to show it, a closed level, something closed off. That's maybe like 5 minutes long, not even.
Yeah, they definitely should have, and it's disappointing that they didn't. But I discussed this on my video earlier. Like I didn't expect them to have anything because in the last Celebration convention, which was in 2017, which I attended and I love being able to say.
Oh, you went? That's dope.
I was there. Yeah, my girlfriend and I were in the panel for Battlefront 2. That was the first reveal of Battlefront 2. Nice. And it seems like they're doing the exact same thing, where with Battlefront 2, they only had a cinematic trailer that introduced everyone to the main character of the story. And then they had people on stage just talking about it. Because it's a convention about all things Star. It's not a gaming convention where this thing happened. It happened at a Star Wars movie convention.
Right.
Yeah.
And so at that reveal for Battlefront 2, that's what they did. At E3, if you guys remember, that was their same EA press conference where they did the Command and Conquer nonsense. And then after the Command and Conquer mobile thing, they had like a 30-minute Naboo fight where they had the
I remember that.
Yeah, so that was the gameplay reveal of that game. And like you were saying, John, I expect the same thing. They did a story thing today only just to say, hey, this is the game, and also throw in, we're also not putting microtransactions in right now, so there's that. And then at E3, EA is probably going to actually do the gameplay reveal, and then it's just a matter of riding it out till November. And
man, I'm ready for that. That's gonna be crazy. So you get that November, and then the episode 9 to finish everything up in December.
Yeah, man. They did it all 3 times.
Exciting.
Battlefront 1 was with episode 7, Battlefront 2 was episode 8, and this game will come with episode 8.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest, Battlefront 1 and 2 didn't get me in the mood for Star Wars. This looks like, because you're using the lightsaber running around, full story and everything, that will get me in the mood for Star Wars.
Is it? Anyone find it weird? You saw so you see, you got the cover of the game right before they announced, the showed off the trailer, right? And it looks like, it's kind of like that bluish color palette, and there's something kind of destructed in the background, right? Then you watch the episode 9 trailer, and then you have the destroyed Death Star in the background with a blue palette. I was like, something's going on here. Something's going on here.
There could
know
be,
what it
but
is. Something's going on here.
It's tricky because of the timeline, but there certainly could be a connection. You're right. I think it would be really cool. And that's the thing, like cynicism about EA aside, like if we just look at it as a video game that's finally a freaking Star Wars game, it's hard not to be excited, even without the gameplay. And I theorized this on my video as well. I have a sneaking suspicion that a lot of what Star Wars 1313 was probably turned into this game. If the gameplay we see is the same kind of third-person action game like 1313 was, which it
they've canceled 2 of them already after that.
Yeah, I'm sure those assets exist. Kathleen Kennedy said years ago when she took over Lucasfilm that we still have 1313 stuff, and so maybe one day, and that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
so
she said specifically what they had was gold, and that they would in the future look into it further.
Yeah.
So
if anyone looks up, and I have it on both my last 2 Star Wars videos, but if anyone just were to look at the actual 4 minutes of gameplay that 1313 had 5 or 6 years ago, it looks just like Uncharted. It looks badass because you're on Coruscant in Star Wars. All they have to do is make that bounty hunter character a Jedi with a lightsaber and have him go to a couple of different planets, and boom, I'm telling you, that's probably what Fallen Order is going to look like.
Yeah,
and that'll be great.
Did a whole documentary on why 1313 was canceled. Yeah, no,
you're a pro.
That was some crazy stuff that happened with that, and I really hope that there is some assets or something saved and used. I would love the gameplay to be that. I don't want I don't know what else could it really be.
How long do we know how long this game's been in development for? I feel like it's been a while but what's weird about that is remember they made that whole statement when they got rid of Visceral about how people didn't want single player games or anything. So
when did Respawn
wrong?
When did Respawn move to EA? When was that? A couple years, 2-3 years ago, right?
It was like 3 years ago, right?
I
When did
wanna
they get
say
bought out?
2016.
Was it 2016?
That's my guess, but I'm not sure if
after,
that's right.
after 26 after Titanfall didn't do as well, so 2016, 2017.
Okay, yeah. It's interesting though that they got rid of Visceral while they were making this in the background and saying they didn't want a single player game out of it.
Well,
It's
I think
also
it's the whole PR thing, like you guys were saying, right? The whole angle about the whole PR. I think what has changed from them over the course of when they probably first started developing this. I mean, who knows? Maybe this game was going to have multiplayer in it, but after everything that's happened, they completely shifted their focus.
I wondered that
wouldn't
too.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that past them, considering how bad. I mean, and then like the layoffs at EA, how they talked about how they flat out said we're not the world's greatest, whatever. We have an issue with our fans, and it's clear people are. It's like GameStop in some sense of the way, right? People are clear. I mean, I drive literally 20 minutes across town, and I have a GameStop down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I drive across to just avoid GameStop. And it's the same thing with EA. Like, I will buy almost anything. I will buy random games, but I will just strictly avoid. Even when they're dirt cheap, I don't buy EA games. Like, I'm just avoiding them completely for everything.
Yeah, and you see, you're making a statement, and I'm sure EA knows that people want to make that statement. Just like you said, that Battlefront 2 Fallout was a big fucking deal, and they did not sell as many copies of that game as they anticipated. So
and they didn't sell Battlefield 5 very well. That came in under expectations. I have a feeling Anthem is gonna disappoint heavily actually when they talk about it in their investor briefing. Well, they're gonna have to say numbers, and I don't think it's gonna be good. It's not gonna be this. They want 6 million in the game's first 2 months or something like that.
Well, let's say, I mean, for the Star Wars game, as a lot of analysts have been saying today, people want to make a statement to EA that we want single player games. Now's your chance. Buy the game when it's brand new. Don't wait for steep discounts. Don't wait for the game to go on sale. Don't buy it from shady key sellers online. Buy the game for $60 when it comes out and make a statement. Because if you don't do it now, EA will put in microtransactions. They will do shitty DLC, and then you push them to do it because they want to make the money.
Yeah, they started it. They started it. We were all there for you. They screw them. They started it, man.
It's a good. You guys actually both have really good points. But if you think about what vote with your wallet means, you vote for your wallet. Yes, it means don't buy the shit you don't want to support, but it also means buy the shit you do want to support. So what Nate says, I think, makes total sense. If we want to support EA making single-player games without microtransactions and nonsense garbage, this might be, hopefully, we learn it's the first game they've made in a long time where it is worth it for people to vote with their wallet by actually buying it. So they got to maintain it until November to be fair. But if they do...
Here's how this works. I think if it can beat Battlefront 1... its sales, that's still, I think, the best-selling Star Wars game that EA's put out
like
so far.
17 or so. 17
million. So I think if this game ends up somewhere around 15, 16, 17 million sold, I think EA will shift heavily into that. But I think if it definitely hits like 20 million, which it's definitely possible, I think, with the install sizes right now that they cater to. Its press release went out. It's on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And I think they have the audience. They have the hype around Star Wars because they're going to launch, a month before the movie comes out and Christmas. I think at that point they at least have something to where they could probably hit that number if they really push it.
If it's good and the press is positive, I think it's going to do gangbusters. But if there's any similar negative press, then just forget about it. It'll be dead on arrival, which will be sad because I hope it's great, man. This is a game that I and so many people have been waiting for a long time. And like, I love, not only is it great that it's a story, but for people who like really are invested in Star Wars, like myself, the story they're telling is actually like legit pretty kick-ass. And it's exactly what people would want out of a Star Wars story in a video game. And playing as a freaking Jedi, like we haven't seen enough of that in so long. So they're doing, I hate saying this because I feel like it's a risky thing to say, but they're doing everything right so far. So I just, like I said, I hope they maintain it. Please maintain it. No, don't say that. I don't want to jinx it. It's got to be maintained, man.
Hey, do you remember Battlefront 2 looked pretty good around the time of E3 when they showed that off, and then wow, did that
no season pass? Oh wow, they're not gonna do anything. Oh, but we got loot crates.
Yeah, it was so bad. And that, if you guys remember, that was like the week before it came out. That was like when review copies were going out to outlets, and that's how that broke. Days before it went out, and it almost killed the game. So
look at Call of Duty. Hey, we got no microtransactions and review copies are out. Oh, the game's been out for a week. All right, here's all the microtransactions. Now the reviews are out.
So, Evan, do you want to go grab some Discord questions real quick while I run through some super chats? Then we finish up with the Xbox One SAD edition.
We do have a bunch. Thoughts on Disney Plus? Do you think Disney will pull all their shows from Netflix and Hulu in order to get people to subscribe to their services? Also, will you guys be getting Disney Plus?
I mean, a lot of the Marvel stuff got like they canceled Daredevil,
all of it
despite it
canceled.
being amazing.
They canceled, but I don't think they have the rights to actually be like, now you can't show it anymore and it's ours. Because I'm pretty sure Netflix actually like fully owns that.
They own it in collaboration, but they're not going to go forward with anymore. They're all 5 shows are canceled, and the only thing is left is the Jessica Jones season 3 to come out, and then it's done. Then they're all completely finished with their contracts. I don't think Disney on there, because right now it appears on Disney Plus that any of the TV shows that they're doing for Marvel characters are actually involved in the MCU and not the side universe that they've been working on Netflix. It's like Wanda and Vision get their own show. Bucky and Falcon have their own show. Hawkeye's getting his own show. Loki's getting his own show with the actual actors from the movies.
Scarlet Witch too.
Yeah, her and Vision are getting that. I hate the title of their show. It's called WandaVision. It's a dumb name.
Is that the real title?
That's
is
the
it going to
real
be like
title right now.
Is it going to be like a sitcom with them? Like
I hope so. I would love a sitcom. I would love the Bucky and Falcon show to actually be like a sitcom with those two like trying to solve stuff and bickering with each other.
Just solve crime.
But The Mandalorian, the first ever like live action Star Wars TV show, is premiering day 1. Launching the whole is launching day 1. That looks great. I like how they have it spread out
tomorrow too.
Oh, they're showing off the trailer for it tomorrow?
Yeah, they're going to have a panel on that tomorrow morning.
Yes, so, I'm excited for that. Dude, Disney Plus, people are like, oh, is it going to compete with Netflix with pricing? It's half of what Netflix costs. It's $7.
It won't stay that way, though. It won't stay that way.
No, but at least for a year, they're going to get people in with that $7.
It's $100 for the year, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a good deal. They're having all the vault no longer exists for Disney films. Like, they're literally all of our signature classic films are on there. There's no like, oh, it's going in the vault now until it comes back. It's going to be great. And then plus they're going to add all of Fox's. The reason one of the things they bought Fox for is to have that huge backlog of Fox films. They're going to slowly add on there. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be Disney taking over the world, man.
Yeah, if I can watch The Rescuers on it, I'll probably get it.
I mean, everything's on there almost day 1, and all the original Star Wars films are going to be released throughout the first year. A lot of awesome stuff. Disney Plus is doing it the right way. They have a clean looking interface.
But will the Great Mouse Detective be there day 1?
I don't know. You got to ask them. You got to write in. You got to let them know you want that day 1.
If the Great Mouse Detective isn't there day 1, it's not worth it.
They own ESPN, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder if all like
ESPN.
I wonder if the 30 for 30 series will be added to it too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I like that.
They're going to have a lot of stuff on there.
That's a really good series, the 30 for 30 series.
Pretty good.
That's
Give
really
me
good.
some Sword in the Stone. I hope that's there pretty early. I love that.
Gummy Bears.
Yeah, that's part of their
They
classic series.
Gummy Bears.
They need Gummy Bears that has the greatest theme song of all time.
Bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare.
What have we done?
These are the Gummy Bears.
The show was legit.
Welcome to GummyCast.
Yeah. So I think
caring.
I would say that people are interested, yes, in that. So good stuff there. What's another one, Evan, that you got there?
There was a sale, I guess, at Best Buy. Anyone pick up any Switch games from it?
Yeah.
There was a
Gal
sale
Metal.
at Best Buy.
I didn't know that either.
I
Gal
wanted to
Metal.
get that. I wanted to get the physical version of Sphinx, but there was none within 250 miles of me. It said online, and my store didn't have any. So
Oh,
Yeah,
online
I
you
got
couldn't
DeBlob
order it.
2. I got DeBlob 2 for $9.
Wow.
That's a
DeBlob
great
2.
game.
Yeah.
Great
That is a
game,
good
yeah.
game. Yeah.
Well, aren't you cool?
Is it still going on? Maybe I go check it out if it is. I have a
still going
$30.
on, but it's like depleted. Like you probably won't get any copies of anything.
They had all the THQ Nordic games for like $10 a piece.
Yeah,
but
I saw Sphinx. I thought that was pretty cool to see Sphinx for $10.
I wanted a physical copy.
It's worth it,
man.
man. Sphinx is good.
It's great. I love it. I just want that physical copy.
Yeah. Let me go through a few super chats. Eric says, "Shout out to OJ, happy birthday."
Oh, thank you, man.
Then Eric said again, guys, EA published Shaq Fu.
they did.
The original,
original.
or the new one?
The original.
Oh, the new one's a piece of crap.
Not worse than the original though.
No,
they
no.
both sucked, but I'd rather
they
play
make the
MJ Chaos and Windy City for the Super Nintendo than Shaq Fu.
Didn't they make the new one bad on purpose though? Wasn't that like the end?
It was
No.
like it had racial term. The game's a piece of fucking shit.
Yikes.
Let me
Big yikes.
A little bit.
Pierce says, "I'm at Coachella and I'm playing Mario Kart with people that are very, very high. This is the future.
Wait,
I'm at Coachella, but I still tuning in for the SpawnCast.
nice.
Hey.
Future. What are you
Hey,
talking?
you know
People
what?
been doing that since like
Wasn't-
what?
All this music's going on in the background from like big name artists, and he just has headphones in, listen to the
He's like, man,
SpawnCast.
fuck the fighters. I'm playing Mario Kart.
Hey, man.
I paid how much to be here? No, I'm gonna listen to SpawnCast.
Wasn't there a fire at Coachella? I thought there was like a big fire there or something. I don't know. I thought it shut the show down, but I guess not.
Yeah, they're playing my mixtape.
Evan, Evan said they had some more Discord questions over there. Evan, if you want to go through them, and then we'll finish up.
Got
with
a
the
good
Xbox.
bit. Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah.
Hi guys, was wondering if you think we will see more FromSoft games come to the Switch.
Maybe. I'm trying to figure out if the one they're going to announce at E3 is going to come to the Switch. I don't know yet. Apparently, they are going to announce one at E3. The one that
It's
I was
tricky.
talking
I
about
mean,
before.
The only one we've seen, right, I think, is Dark Souls Remastered, and that had its own weird issue because it was delayed by like 7 months, and delayed twice even. So I still want to think it's possible. I don't know why they wouldn't want to tap into that market.
The word is Dark Souls 2 and 3. I thought were coming over, but we haven't heard anything about that since.
That
then.
was never even a valid
Yeah.
rumor. That was something Laura Kate Dale put out there before the Switch even launched, and it wasn't even founded on anything. It was just.
Yeah, that was like the last time we heard about anything Dark Souls related.
I mean, it comes down to what From Software is making, who the publisher is, and whether or not they feel as though it's justified to have another company be paid for outsourcing to port it over to the Switch. And right now, I mean, it's not like there's really been much opportunity to bring a From Software game to Switch.
Yeah, they would have to launch one day and date.
Yeah, I don't think so. From Software, I don't think they care. They don't care about the Switch really, and the publishers and don't really care about it when it comes to From Software games. So yeah, I don't really see anything, to be honest. That's just me though.
That's a shame.
Okay. What's another one, Evan?
This is for our last topic. I mean, we did say that they're not going to put microtransactions in, but really, when's EA, do you think, going to put the microtransactions in?
If the game comes out and sells less than 10 million copies, I think they'll do it then.
A week
Yeah,
after
Think like a
release.
week, 2 months, yeah.
I'd give them 3
swear.
months. I think we'll be into February by the time they think about it.
Hey, you could change the color of your lightsaber by paying us.
Because they'll talk to investors and be like, we're going to look into ways to fix this and monetize it further because single player didn't work. So
And-
Nate has a good point. If you want to support the microtransaction, and it looks good, obviously, and it gets a good review and people are like, yeah, there's definitely nothing crazy here. Then
Even if you don't want it, buy it.
Well, no, I mean if.
I'll buy it when it's 50% off instead
There
of
you
like
go.
70.
You
like I
cheap
usually do.
bastard.
Well, I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're probably going to buy it, and there's gonna be a lot of Star Wars fans at that time, so I think it'll sell well. I mean, honestly, if Battlefront 1 was able to sell that many copies with the lacking of content that it had, which it was missing a lot of content, they needed a $50 season pass to fix it. I think.
But now they have Firestorm.
Oh gosh, I don't even know if are people still playing Battlefield 5.
No,
No,
maybe.
none of the big. There's one guy that plays Battlefield
I
5.
I know
or whatever
Dr.
his name is.
Disrespect played the new mode like twice
Firestorm
or something, and I haven't seen him do it since.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. Not a lot of people play. People are obviously Fortnite and
Apex.
Apex. Yeah, Fortnite and Apex.
Dingo says video games New York had Sphinx and plenty of limited or import physical games. Jordan, there you go.
Well, I'm not in New York, but next time I'm there, I'll make sure to check.
Hey
it
man,
out.
take a look around Too Many Games, man. When Wood and I were walking around last time, he definitely found a couple of like hard to find Switch games for cheap. So
Well, I hope they're cheap.
Sphinx might be there. What's
Looking
another
forward
Discord
to it.
question, Evan?
It's been 20 years since Legend of Dragoon. What do you think of the chances of the sequel?
0%.
Yeah.
0.
Sorry, yeah, sorry. There's not.
They couldn't even put the game in the PlayStation Classic.
Yeah. They would have to revive that and put it on some systems before they like do a sequel. Like we got what did we get? Romancing Saga or something brought back, and bring back Legend of Dragoon. Put it on the like the Switch. I don't think it's on the PS4 right now either.
Wait, Legend of
Is it?
Dragoon?
Yeah.
Is that? I thought there was a.
That's a Sony franchise. That's a Sony first party.
Oh, is it Sony first party?
Yeah, the RPG from the PS1. Yeah, that'd be an exclusive.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Then put it on the PS4.
I played it. It's a Sony exclusive.
Yeah,
He bought it for
was
half
almost
off.
in the guy was almost in, what was it? PlayStation
Yeah, it was
All-Stars
Sony. Yeah, it was
Battle
Sony.
Royale.
Yeah, it was Sony Interactive and everything. Yep. There you go.
Wow.
Do you know who produced it?
Sony. I don't know.
Got the name of
Steven Spielberg.
Is it Stevie Richards?
Is Shuhei Yoshida?
Oh, big if
He was the producer. There you go.
Nice.
Yep. He was the producer.
That's why it's never came back. He's been
Yeah.
on the bigger and better thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think you'll see anything with that. Sony's, I don't think they'll do that. We still need to find out more about Medieval first. What's another Discord question, Evan?
This one sounds very specific. With the giant enemy crab in Labo VR, is Nintendo attempting to retell real Japanese historical battles, a la Genji
gosh.
2?
Giant Enemy Crabs Part 2?
That was probably one of the best moments
It's
in
been
E3.
That entire E3 conference for Sony was legendary.
that was a great
Oh,
year.
it's amazing.
Look at these gyro controls. They didn't work. Warframe. What the hell is that fucking game called?
It was
Warhawk.
Warhawk. Yeah.
Yeah, look, we brought back Warhawk. No one cares.
The guy was playing Warhawk. The guy was playing Warhawk like it was like the most interactive. Like, he was like exaggerating so much with the controls with that boomerang controller, or whatever the hell it was.
That that conference is so bad.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I remember I was working at a Blockbuster at the time. That's how long ago that was. And I was getting texts from my brother about it. And he was all $600. I was like, what? There's no way they would sell it for $600.
And they had
Sure
the
enough.
Eye of Judgment.
Oh,
I
remember
hold on.
Yeah.
You said you keep talking. I judgment. Hold on. I'll be right
He's
back.
gonna pull it up.
He's gonna go get like the cards.
I played that game in college. My friend Andre had it because he was like a hardcore PlayStation dude, and we played Eye of Judgment. I was like, dude, this game is trash. It's taking forever. Like, I really did hate that game though. It was an augmented reality.
You put the card under the camera. It took like a minute to like fucking render the character. By then you're like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know.
pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't put Legend of Dragon. Now I'm thinking about it on that PlayStation Classic because it wouldn't have cost them anything.
I still have Eye of Judgment.
That's weird.
Complete sealed.
Time to
how it
play to
belongs.
bust that out. You got to play it live on stream.
Dude, I've been wanting to make a video on this for so long, but I just don't want to open it.
Now's the
Look at
time,
that
man.
old PlayStation 3 logo on the side, man. It gives me memories.
Because with the camera, because I get a starter deck, a play card. Dude, this is amazing, dude. This was the future of gaming.
There's a high chance you could probably go on eBay right now and get that exact thing for $10, and then
No,
just open it
probably
up.
very easily. Yeah.
So that's like one of the best E3s. You can go back; it's like an hour long, and you'd enjoy most of it. It's pretty funny.
Ridge Racer is a big one.
Yes, Ridge Racer. is a good one.
Ridge Racer.
That should be the one where he also dropped the PSP behind
Yeah,
behind
he
the
probably says, whoops.
Yeah, whoops. What's another Discord question, Evan?
Bubsy on retro platforms was atrocious, but the trailer for the new Bubsy actually looks decent. What are your thoughts on the new Bubsy Pause on Fire, and will you be reviewing it?
Isn't that game just like a Runner 3 reskin with Bubsy?
I don't know.
The last
I
Bubsy
no
game
idea.
that just came out is bad.
I'm okay.
Why is this one going to be
Bubsy
good?
games are bad.
I know. So why is this one going to be any good?
The new games are
Can't get
better.
worse.
The new games are better than the old games, but they're still not great.
Barely.
No, they're a lot better. They're much better because the old games are really bad.
I mean,
they're much
better
better, but they're
controls
not
and
very
graphics,
good though.
sure.
Considering the type of indie games that we get and the type of like independent developers that are making games on like SteamWorld Dig 2 and Celeste, like Bubsy doesn't even it's an indie game or it's like indie style game, but it's nowhere near as good as any of the quality ones that we get. So
Fuck Bubsy.
Ew.
Oh man.
what could possibly go wrong?
Stop it.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, man.
All right, before that gets out of hand, the last actual Discord question. With Epic now rising and Steam on top, how will co-op multiplayer work if one person owns it on one store and another owns it on a different store? Borderlands 1 and 2 had it where you invited friends via the launchers specifically for the friends page.
Well, that's the question. That is a tough question there. I think it comes down to if it's exclusive or not, right? Because you can still pre-order the game on Steam before they cut it off, but then you still get it from Steam. But then if it's exclusive to Epic Store, then how does that work? They'd probably
most likely just have to build their own internal social thing that links to your Steam account or whatever account you have, and then
Something
it
like
works
Battle.net or
through the
something?
game itself. No, it would be like separate to it, like sort of a Warframe system. Warframe is linked to my Steam account, but it is its own account, so I'd be able to play with other people depending on the situation.
I don't really know. That's one of the issues they have to work out. That's tough.
It's been I'm not a really avid PC player, but watching this whole Epic Store and Steam thing play out has been really interesting because it's such a PC community specific controversy, and like most controversies you see in gaming are almost always like console specific or company specific. So I don't know. I just think that it really sucks for people who prefer to play games that way, that whole thing is going on. It's outside of my scope because I don't really game on it that way, but it sucks for sure.
Is this all the Discord questions, Evan?
That is everything.
So let's finish up with the Xbox One SAD. Oh, Jordan, by the way, it was Dingo actually mentioned that the Video Game New Yorker actually be at too many games.
Oh, okay, dope.
So there you go. They said he can
Dingo.
email him for a request technically, but you can also check him out there, it seems. And then Rikuki2 asks anyone picking up World War Z. I think Max did, because he said it's basically Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, he said it was. He said it was almost like a complete Left 4 Dead rip with extra stuff. So it just sounds like a better Left 4 Dead.
I watched it being played on Twitch. Seems interesting. Yeah, it's basically Left 4 Dead, just not in first person.
How much is it? Did we get a price on that?
I do not know.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's a full release or not. Is it like 40?
I'll have to take a look at that just to see. Curious about that then, if it's like Left 4 Dead. So let's finish up with the Xbox One SAD, or the Xbox One S all digital.
Worthless.
So this is amazing, and I'm going to be curious if this actually happens. They should officially announce it Tuesday. As of now, a German site, Win Future, posted apparently a listing for it, and they have it priced at 230 euros, I believe that is. That's 250 USD, which is a terrible price for that system. No disk drive, a 1 terabyte hard drive, and it comes with Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, and Forza Horizon 3, not even Forza Horizon 4.
That's the reason why it's called the SAD.
If this is correct, that's going to be dead out of the gate. Like I don't know who's buying that for 250.
Pretty much been the Xbox One since it launched. So why should Microsoft change, tradition now?
Sean's gonna buy that before he buys lamps.
He'll buy that before he gets a Pro controller.
I will buy lamps. It's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Like too many. First and foremost, too many people are reporting on it for it to be a mistake of any kind, in my personal opinion. The only caveat with the system is the price point. That's the only thing that I could see any sort of wiggle room on it. Obviously, that website had the box of the fucking thing. Like, this is the box. This is what's going to be on it. Minecraft.
No, their box is pretty much correct.
Yeah. So I mean, a terabyte on paper sounds like a lot, but the fact that everything has to be digital, that sort of, dwindles it a bit. The fact that it's not going to have any Game Pass or Xbox Live stuff integrated into it, like right out of the gate. Why does it look exactly like an Xbox One S, a standard Xbox One S? Like, it looks exactly the same. Exactly the same. The system should look completely different. You can still call it an Xbox One S all digital version, but the system needs to be smaller. You don't have a disk drive. Like, why would you make the system so big that's causing extra price with the system? Of course, like that was just absolutely, like, how do you fuck it up? You make the system cheap. You make it $150. You have no disk drive. Fuck putting the games pre-installed on it. Make it $100, $150. You cut down on the price of that. Give people Game Pass for a few months and let them try it out, and then you'll make all your money back. Like, it's silly.
Has it been confirmed that the size of the system is as big as a normal Xbox One S?
I mean, looking at the screenshots of the system, it looks exactly like an Xbox One S. And like they have it where like the controller is next to the system, so you can get sort of the size of it. And to me, it looks exactly the same. Go on.
Okay, do you think they're doing this on purpose to have it look very similar? So when a kid's looking at the store, like, "Mom, I want this one. Look, it comes with all these other games," and then they realize after they purchase it, it's like, "Oh, it's only digital. Oh, whatever. I don't care about."
That's a shady way to try to trick somebody. Though.
I mean, it looks exactly the same. The boxes aren't too far off. Yeah.
I would guess they're trying to save money on production, like in order to obviously R&D, like reshaping things takes R&D money takes time, so they'd have to do more work than just let's just strip this out of what it already looks like, then put it out there. If this is true, that it's just like the same and everything. But if they don't make major change, like yeah, if it's not smaller and all that, I mean that's kind of trash because the biggest thing in the system is usually the optical drives, right? Like
Yeah.
that's usually what makes them big. So it's like
I think the other thing that was big in there is the fan and the power supply.
Yeah, they actually had a pretty big fan housing
Yeah.
and everything in there.
But that disk drive takes up a lot, and it is more expensive because I mean they're taking the ultra high def Blu-ray player out of it. That's actually one of the big selling features of the Slim.
Man.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Well, to me, the whole idea of this thing, ever since like the rumors started a couple months ago, just seems like a weird ass move for Microsoft to make when it seems pretty obvious to most people that we're probably going to see or hear about a new Xbox, if not at E3, I bet in 2019, right? Like a lot of people expect next gen is going to maybe start next year. And so why so
NBA.
late?
Sorry.
You lazy motherfucker.
I don't know the channels.
You really have to use Contour on your friggin' remote to get the playoff game.
Oh my
Just
God,
hit
don't
mute real
know
quick, bro.
the channels.
He's in the middle of talking about Microsoft. What
Dude,
is
that's how the government
Yeah,
listens to you,
NBA.
man.
I don't even remember what the hell I was saying. Something about the Xbox.
I think you're talking about the NBA.
Talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
the
it's
about
Xbox
the NBA there.
NBA app on the
coming out
Xbox.
next
Go-
You talk to
Go
your
Nuggets.
Connect.
Yeah. Oh wait, so no, I forgot it. Never mind.
Okay.
Thanks,
Well,
Sean.
NBA.
All right.
The only pause I have about this is Xbox Ones are different prices all over the world, and we're like doing direct conversions of this. We don't necessarily know if that's the right price because if it is $250, they might as well not even put it out. If it's
I mean-
$200,
It still sucks
Maybe.
at no, it still sucks at 200. Come
I don't
on.
think it's as bad because normally it's $300, so they knock $100 off.
Oh please, where is
get
it?
an
300?
Xbox One S for like $150 at Black Friday last year?
No, yeah, but the MSRP right now is $300, so that means that
Yeah.
that $200 one. All right,
But
so here's how.
nobody's selling it at the MSRP.
Well, I'm
They're
gonna-
selling it $100 like less.
Well, here's how it works with Microsoft. All right, look, GameStop sells it for $300 with a $50 gift card is what it comes with right here. The
I
Xbox
can get
One.
I can get a 1 terabyte Xbox One S Minecraft creators bundle for $226 free shipping on Amazon.
There you go. See if it's $150 because it's $200 with a $50 GameStop gift card. There you go.
You can get them for $200 too on Amazon. 207.
Yeah,
I don't
207 for the system.
And like the people already are pushing back on all digital stuff. Like I don't know how they expect to sell it. I just don't know who they think the market is.
Xbox One with NBA 2K19 220. Like no, it needs to be 150.
Yeah.
It needs to be
I think it
150.
needs to be cheap. I mean, I would think like a lot. I mean, 200 isn't horrible. I mean, I guess you're getting those 3 games, so it's not like it's like the worst deal out there. But I mean, yeah, no Blu-ray player, no disc drive in there for physical games. Everything's. I mean, once again, like the way that games work on PS4 and Xbox One, like it takes up your hard drive space anyway. But just still, even having the option, I guess, right? So
It's almost like a perception, like people, and I'm one of those people that like I know, just like you say, OJ, like it's such a DRM nightmare. It's like, yeah, you have a disc, but what does it really mean? But to be fair, like I still like the feeling of putting my game that I bought into a machine.
me
Just
too.
feels like
And
that's my
I
game.
still buy Xbox One physical games, even though I know it just takes
Totally.
I still buy them. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and you
but
can
it's a good
sell
point.
those discs. You can
Yes.
sell those discs and recoup
Exactly.
some of your
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
But for only $1, you get 3 months of Game Pass
That is true.
available today.
I mean,
It
that's
should
what
be
they want
it
this
should be
thing to do.
$200 with a 2 terabyte hard drive. Like I don't even
That'd
know
be a
why.
better
I
deal.
don't even know what the point of a 1
That's
terabyte.
better. Yeah,
I don't know what the
better,
point
yeah,
of a 1
that's
terabyte
better.
is. Like, why
Yeah.
would you put a 1 terabyte in a system that can't even take discs? Like,
Probably because they're only making probably like 500,000 of these things. and
Yeah.
They know there's not a
It's
big
not like that many.
market, so they're just gonna make they're gonna have a huge return on investment. On
I don't
it.
even know why they're doing it. Like at this point,
Thank
it's like
you.
let's just
I
move into
think-
the next generation.
It's true, but I'm sure that the reason they're doing it is to just barely at the end of this generation, just get the idea out there. All digital, Game Pass. You don't need none of the crazy stuff. You just want to put a drop in the bucket out there right before the Xbox One is done and the Scarlet whatever becomes the next thing. It has to be that, right? Just to get it out there to people.
Like there's
That's
a
all I
chance
can
that like there's a chance that Sony mentions the next PlayStation like before E3 even, and at that point, Microsoft's releasing their Xbox One SAT and Sony's talking about the PS5.
Yeah.
That would be so weird. That'd be such a weird set of events there.
Yeah, why buy lamps when it's bright half the day for free?
Exactly.
It is almost summer. Where I mean, the sun doesn't set till like 8:45. Like a
Yeah,
month.
Yeah,
That's
I still have
pretty good.
I still have
Like
sun out here right now.
65%.
So I guess that's everything then. Evan, we finished all the Discord questions and everything.
Yep, we're all cleared up over there.
Okay. Couple of Carlos Ramirez with $2 in the super chat. Thank you. And that'll do it here then for SpawnCast episode 106. Let me go around here. Rob, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at Rule of 2 Review, Rule of the number 2 Review on YouTube and on Twitter. And I will say, if you're into the Star Wars stuff, I just put up a video breaking down the Star Wars stuff earlier today. And I'm a much smaller channel than a lot of these guys, but even this video is getting like criminally low views for most of my videos. So I say go check it out. I go pretty deep into some Star Wars
Still
stuff.
got 10K, man. That's not. I mean, that's not. First of all, that's not easy to do. I'll just say that right now. You know,
Yeah,
most people don't
thanks.
got 10K.
I'm definitely proud of where I'm going to probably cross 11K in another couple weeks. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, so Rule of 2 Review, that's where you can find me.
Okay. And then Sean, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at your local Walgreens picking up pizza rolls, pack of menthols. You can find me on RGT85. I don't really know what I've got going on. I was kind of sick last week. I was really sick last week, actually, with a nasty head and chest cold. So that kind of delayed a lot of things that I wanted to do. So maybe I'll finally get around to some of those things. But yeah, you never know what to expect on the channel, but it'll be some video game stuff. So yeah, check me out.
Okay. And then OJ, where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence, and we do a lot of streaming. I just did a 12-hour stream. So we're going to do more streaming. We're going to do theme streams. We're going to have a lot of cool Nintendo content, RPGs, action games, stuff like that. So if you're into all that, you're into Q&As, streaming, constant content all the time, edited videos as well. Check it out on them right here, Player Essence. Yeah.
Cool.
And,
All right.
and it's his birthday. Light up the chat, guys.
It is
Yeah,
his
it's my birthday. Go subscribe for my birthday. Go subscribe. You like the channel though. If you like John Shine, if you like these other dudes, yeah, you'll like my channel.
Thank you.
So.
And then Nate, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at Direct Feed Games on Twitter. There's a link to my YouTube channel there where I have direct feed footage of games. Next couple of weeks, I'll have some Dragon's Dogma handheld gameplay for Switch and some docked gameplay, probably a comparison. Find a Hellblade comparison there now. And if anything ever exciting happens in this boring industry, I'll actually have a discussion video talking about it.
Aren't you just Mr. Wonderful, man? You be the Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank. That's
Yeah, but I invented the cure for cancer, really. Let's see if it works.
For that reason, I'm out.
What about Jordan? Where can they find you, man?
So, well, speaking of criminally low views and streaming, you can find me at YouTube, Jordan Fringe. My views going down the toilet, but that's okay. I go to Twitch about it sometimes, so you can follow me on Twitch. I'm going to be streaming in about 30 minutes. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Maybe it's gaming. Maybe it's Pokemon cards. Maybe I'll read another article for 2.5 hours and get angry. Who knows? Come through if you want to hang out some more. If not, I understand. I don't like me either.
Okay.
And that's my pitch.
And then Evan.
You can follow me on Twitter. That's where I post all my info, all the news, anything happening. If I stream on Twitch, it'll go there, stuff like that. So just Kimmerex Project. Twitter, it's just like the name that keeps popping up in chat for you guys.
Cool. Okay. And got a couple things going on here. I got that 32 gigabyte card in from Japan finally for the Switch. The Dragon. I got a Dragon Quest here. I got to rip that apart. And then I have the C40 controller, the PS4 Elite controller that I have to do a video on as well. Played a lot of Neo actually in Spider-Man and God of War with it. Actually beat God of War again the other day with it. So got a video on that coming too. So I have to rip apart a $200 controller. But.
Can you jump with that controller?
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Answer's no.
It's still, but yes, God of War is still better than Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice. You can't jump.
I agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. The controls actually work. They actually like responsive. Like when you move Kratos, he actually moves.
Yes,
so,
yes, still better.
What? You're kidding.
My game of the year still holds up from last year. So good to see. But that's going to do it, guys, for SpawnCast episode 106. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'll see you guys then.